Hi, friends.
Oh,
Welcome in to the firm of Harris and Marang. We're here every day,
You welcome me in.
10 to 1. Maybe I'm just saying hi. Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in it. This is how I talk. One of my all-time favorites. Why are you yelling? I'm not yelling. This is how I talk.
That is, if you had one
That's
piece
it.
of anything ever to see somebody's first reaction to, I think a lot of people go Game of Thrones, like that first episode, the end of the first episode.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeet.
All over the place. Yeah.
That's a lot of people go to. Clayton Bigsby is 1,000%
Well,
untouched. The best first reaction thing you could ever watch somebody experience the first time live.
Well, what I was doing is Samuel L. Jackson ale.
Yeah, I know.
Sam Jackson ale. But my wife has never seen the Chappelle show, so I'm like holding on to it to get her on board for it.
If you want the DVDs, I got both. I got both first seasons. I don't own a lot of DVDs. When those came out, those came on. I have watched those so many times on deployments. It is not even funny. It is, dude, like that. What we had
Bitch.
And he divorced his wife of 42 years. Bro, that for anybody that doesn't know the Clayton Bigsby skit and like the origination of it, it's the
Easy Rod.
I'm just gonna say, it was the very first skit they ever did, and Neil Brennan and Dave Chappelle. The idea was,
It's insane.
if we can get away with this, they can tell us they can't tell us we can do. There's nothing we can't do.
That's the truth.
And they were right.
They were 100%.
They were right, because after that, you can't touch that mountaintop again.
All bets were off.
It was just
The racial draft, the mad real world,
the real Wayne Brady.
the real Wayne Brady, shooting dice in the alley.
Oh God, dude. I mean, just Tiger Woods for shizzle.
For sure. I've always wanted to say this. For shizzle.
Just, I mean, pure unadulterated brilliance.
It's pretty great. It's
But
pretty great.
Watching somebody's soul leave their body for Clayton Bigsby, like, can I laugh at this? Especially now.
I think my wife would be so uncomfortable.
Oh God.
She would be so uncomfortable.
I don't think I've ever laughed harder at anything than the first time I saw that skit. I
Yeah.
mean, I was 18 years old.
It was pretty big.
Oh my, that was the last time we had appointment viewing in this country.
No, Game of Thrones was appointment viewing.
Not like that though.
Yeah, I like that.
No.
Dude, people had like watch parties.
Oh,
Glee was the same way. Hey, just because you don't like it
No.
doesn't mean
I'm not anti-Glee.
just because you don't like it doesn't mean other people can do it. Just
No.
like USC shares a title in 2003. Just because you don't like it
No.
doesn't mean you can't do it.
They share nothing. Bar 2 confirmed that. HBO's different because Comedy Central was just a part of cable, where HBO was kind of the add-on.
Mm-hmm.
Comedy Central was still there, and so damn near, because everyone had cable back then.
Yeah. We all did.
That was the last time we had traditional appointment viewing.
Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Severance and Game of Thrones, like shows that people really, really like. That's different because they're on the premium packages and stuff like that. But I'm talking like mass broadcast.
I mean, the Olympics were still that back then.
I think that's different.
I know. I was trying to think of something sports wise.
Yeah, I mean, Super Bowl.
That was appointment. Yeah. That's easy. That's once a thing.
Yeah, but I'm
like
talking
like
about
the Chappelle
recurring.
show's not every week because they have off season. But
Yeah.
but I was trying to think of something sports. Olympics. I mean, still, but that's like 4 weeks of appointment viewing for sure.
Yeah, but I just mean like the TV show that you were sitting down to watch every week, especially after that.
The Daily Show might have been that for a little bit. That show was pretty popular. Maybe not
It
to the
was.
extreme of Chappelle, because Chappelle's gonna like touch all different aspects of life, to where the Tonight Show, or not the Tonight Show, but the Daily Show definitely had a targeted audience.
Sure.
Still does.
But it was something about it where from 16 to 55,
Yeah.
man or woman, everyone watched it.
Yeah, I can't believe things like the Dave Chappelle show and The Office were allowed to be on TV.
Oh, I mean, just incredible stuff. Is there a skit that Chappelle did that wouldn't get him canceled today on that show?
I think he might. No. I was like, he might get away with the Mad Real World, but then there's like the dudes in the corner. Like,
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah. Shanking.
The shank is fine.
Yeah.
You killed my dad, and you had sex with Katie.
The Milkman family.
Oh, no, I'm not touching that one. Not touching that one.
Best table anybody ever had here.
Well, he was using a word
I know.
you can't use.
I know. That's why I left it open. But like, it was social commentary that everyone got behind. Because
Correct.
It was like we were talking about Mel Brooks the other day.
Mm-hmm.
It was very similar to like it was Blazing Saddles on steroids.
Yeah. I did see there was a clip posted in the Dead & Co subreddit of Dave Chappelle and John Mayer walking into white people places like
Oh
restaurants.
God.
And offices, and John Mayer just playing guitar and people getting up and dancing.
Yeah.
There's an office like a bra hits him in the face. She sits down and she's just exposed at the table.
The Mitsubishi Eclipse commercial.
Yes. I'm so into this right now.
Dude, it's one of those things where if I'm ever scrolling and it's like Chappelle's show, I don't care what I'm doing. I'm finishing that episode. I'm sitting down and I'm watching it.
I know. That's why I still haven't brought it to the wife's attention, because I know when I do, it's going to need full attention. Full attention given. Oh boy.
That's what you got to just do it, dude.
Yeah.
Whatever show you're watching, you just go, you know what? We're in for a treat tonight.
I just can't stop laughing right now.
Oh, it's because it was brilliant.
Is Wayne Brady gonna have to be like? This is pretty good. I'm looking at the YouTube camera right now, and I'm still small despite sitting on this phone book. We need somebody out there to find an old school phone book. One of our P1s, the great Rufio, came in this morning and gave me some height stimulating equipment, performance enhancing equipment,
Yes,
if one might
some
say.
PEDs.
And this is, I don't think this phone book's really helping.
No, it's
I still look really small over here.
It's not the old traditional phone book that's 4 inches thick.
Anytime I ever feel fat, I'm just gonna watch the YouTube feed and be like, "Look at that small guy. He got double chin though."
For those who don't know, he got a phone book and a milk crate. The milk crate for the pre-show.
That'd be cool if we could put the chair on the milk crate.
Just sit above the table.
Put the milk crate on the chair. Well, the thing is this chair does like move up and down. Like, I could probably.
You could go higher, but then you're all dangly legged.
Well, I'm dangly legged anyway. There's that better. Am I a lot more prominent on television? Hi, Mom, I'm on TV.
It happens.
It's too bad this show's not on the pot shop anymore.
Yeah, you go.
Those guys were like, "Dude, you're the guy that was on TV."
And you just kind of like pull the hat down a little bit.
You're like, uh-oh. Oh, there you go. Hey, I can see it now. Yeah, dude, I look like a real person. I look like a real boy.
I'm a real boy.
I'm a real boy. We're burying the lead here. In today for Jeff Rust is the great Jordan Schultz on the ones and twos.
What's going on?
What's going on, amigo?
Happy Friday Eve.
I haven't seen you in a while, so I'm very excited for you to be here today and tomorrow.
Thanks, brother. I was in Boston. It was hot there, just like it was here. I thought I was kind of avoiding, the 100 degrees, but then I got heat exhaustion there. So happy to be back here in the cold PNW for, 2 more hours before it gets hot all over again?
Hey, things weren't too bad. I say you came back with it.
Oh, shut up. I hate the heat, so it can't be me. It can't be on my coattails.
Dude, I'm right there with you, man. I'm not a big heat guy either. I always say you can put on more clothes. You can only take so many off.
That's true.
I got a phone call from my boy Joe Simons. He's like, "Hey man, you thinking about getting a tea time this weekend?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "It's going to be a bajillion degrees, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's supposed to be in the 90s." He's like, "Wrong."
101.
And I was like, "Wait, what?" And he goes, "You still going to go?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a psychopath. I'm still going to go."
I follow map porn on Reddit. It's a subreddit. And it shows you like maps with cool stuff. I saw one yesterday that was like 100-degree temperatures on record since like 1900. Seattle had 6 of them. And I was like, where's Portland? Because I know it's been more than 6 since in my lifetime. Phoenix, Arizona was like 11,000.
Yeah, it tracks.
Yeah, L.A. too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Not L.A., Vegas, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Florida was like 0.
No, because
Same with Hawaii.
it's the humidity.
0.
Like
Yep.
the water keeps the.
It just bogs it down.
I will say though that does change as you get closer to the equator. I've mentioned before I was on an island in the middle of the Indian Ocean called Diego Garcia. It's literally like on the equator.
My name is Diego Garcia.
Dope island. It's owned by the Brits that we lease it out for military purposes. The Queen actually has her crabs there.
What kind of crabs?
There you go.
The Queen is also dead.
Well, I know, but it's like this was then. Her crabs and her lobsters. That's where they came
Like
from.
what she eats?
Yep.
Ooh, baby.
And they had like coconut crabs, which are like a foot across. They're huge.
Do they have the blue lobsters there?
They're like the super fluorescent, like pearled lobsters. They're enormous.
Do the blue lobsters taste better, or are we still just eating lobster?
I have no idea.
I don't think
Not
it
to
tastes any different.
Not to poo on lobster.
They're just
lobster's
rare.
fantastic.
You know what's funny?
But is it any better?
Lobster was originally seen as a poor cuisine.
Yeah.
Because it's basically a sea cockroach.
Well, and all the work you have to do,
Mm-hmm.
like crab and stuff. Yeah, it's like poor people food because you have to work to get at it.
Now it's expensive. It's so dumb. But no, this island, Diego Garcia, it's a horseshoe-shaped island, has this huge lagoon in the middle of it. I was out there with what's called a bash monitor. I had been deployed a ton, and I was supposed to go home, and I didn't want to go home. And my commander's like, well, you need a break, so I'm going to send you to Diego Garcia. And I was like, whatever, man. So I went down there as a bash monitor, which means I sat at the end of a flight line in board shorts and a tank top and flip-flops with a shotgun and shot birds that were anywhere near aircraft. It was super fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think most people would find that job really awesome.
No, it was.
I don't find that awesome,
No,
but in a shocking turn of events, I don't shoot guns.
But it was only when planes were either coming in or taking off.
Yeah.
So I'd go out there at the sortie time, whatever time it was, like Farmer Fran with my shotgun, do. And somebody I tell you right now, man, the birds that are down there are huge. Like you get like albatross, like just big old birds, right? Because you're literally in the middle of nowhere. You have to be, kind of big enough to get out there and then eat the big stuff that's out there. Anyways, I'd get done and I'd go fishing in this lagoon and we pull out like, 50 to 110, 120 pound tuna out of this lagoon. Just insane stuff. You pull out, so my buddy caught a 670 pound swordfish.
Whoa.
One guy caught like an 8-foot hammerhead shark. Like you just take a little boat into this lagoon.
But you can't keep the shark. Well, at Diego Luna, what is it called?
Oh,
Diego Garcia, you can keep the shark.
You can keep anything.
That's illegal in most places.
Yeah, no, this is, come on now.
I hear shark is good though.
I've had, for all the PETA people out there, shark fin soup, really good.
Yeah, I bet.
They really frown upon that.
I wouldn't do that because that's against the rules, Danny.
But it got like 115 with the humidity too.
That's a no bueno.
Brother, it was woof.
I'm not into that. No, thank you. Don't like that. Mahalo. No. Oakley dokley. Well, we got a show for you today. A lot of college football to get to in the first hour. We'll have some fun in the 11 o'clock hour. It is Tears Day. Got a good web gem for all the bars on the north side of Chicago. A check-in on ESPN once again becoming our overlords in the noon hour. So a lot to get to. We're going to have Ryan Clark on at 10:30 from the Oregonian. Excited to have him as we will spend this first hour previewing the Oregon State football season coming up, the Beavs. What's in store for them coming off kind of a rough year? We're in transition periods here. What's the outlook look like as a new quarterback is in? Trent Bray, year 2. We'll discuss that, and then we'll have Ryan Clark on at 10:30. So stick around with us. We'll have a ton of fun. We're happy to have you. It's the firm of Harris and Marang on 105.1 The Fan.
New ownership is coming. The Firm of Harris and Marang on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
10:19 here, Portland Sports Leader. Don't you forget it. We are live from the shadows of the historic Fremont Bridge. 503-864-6326. That's the fan text line. She'll let you interact with us throughout the entire show. There's also the YouTube chat. Shout out over there. There's a bunch of stuff on the text line that I can't read out loud in reference to the Chappelle show. Yop. I do feel stronger in this chair right now.
There you go.
Like
seat of power.
Like yes, like more powerful. Like
A little Game of Thronesy.
Yeah. What is that? The Iron Chair?
The Iron Throne.
The Iron Throne.
God, did you even watch Game of Thrones?
After that last couple seasons, try to erase it from my brain.
Yeah, that's fair.
Try to erase it from my brain.
The best part about that is the cast being like, "Yeah, no, we didn't like it either, dog."
Yeah, I've started to see some videos of like the table read. And
nobody real enthused about it.
Yeah, like the actor playing the eunuch, the bald guy, Varys.
Yeah.
He finishes reading his script when he dies, closes it, throws it across the table, turns around and just like rubs his eyes and is just pissed looking into the world.
I spent 7 years
like
building this kick-ass character.
Everyone will always know me as only this.
Yeah, and this is how you're gonna do me.
I don't even remember how he died. Yeah, exactly. I don't even remember.
The only thing that I think they even got close to right was the Mountain and the Hound.
Yes, I agree. I also
everything else, I was just like, whatever, dude.
I liked the Lannister siblings.
I hated that ending.
I thought it worked for me. It wasn't my favorite, but it worked.
Yeah. Thanks to showrunners for taking creative liberties beyond books that basically haven't been written.
Well, yeah,
yet.
blame George R.R. Martin for being lazy.
Well, no, I blame Weiss and Benioff, the guys that created the damn show. That's who I blame. It's like you guys think you're smarter than George R.R. Martin. It was his story in the first place, but look at you guys, you're billionaires.
He
now.
didn't finish it. That's his
still
deal.
Still not.
No, he still hasn't finished. Yeah, that's true.
He had 10 freaking years to finish it, and he didn't do it, man. That's on him.
Coming up here in about 15 minutes or so, we'll have Ryan Clark from the Oregonian join us. But I thought it'd be nice as we're getting ready to college football is to dive into some previews. Alex Brink will be on tomorrow. We'll do some Wazoo stuff tomorrow as well. And the next week, we'll take a good peek at Oregon, really kind of break that down. I'm trying to find somebody up from UW to kind of chat with them because I know there are some Huskies in this neighborhood. Those poor souls, just everyone feasting on them. But hey, you know me, I have them kind of high, so I'm going to try to find somebody, and we'll chat a little Husky football next week regardless. But going into Oregon State this year, look, there's no lie that them and Washington State are kind of married at this point, no matter what the future of the Pac-12 is. Like, even this season in the last Pac-2 situation, one team had a pretty decent, okay season last year. One team did not, but they almost flipped the script really hard, as this year they are returning a coach. The other team is not. But Oregon State last year, 5-7. I think one of the real glaring things is 1-4 on the road. I try to take the Oregon game out of my brain.
Sure.
Because that's
holistically different.
Apples and oranges at this point, unfortunately. But, after the first year of Trent Bray going to year two, is there anything to build off of last year? I mean, you have stability at the head coach.
Yeah, you brought some guys back in the coaching ranks. Hankerson is a solid running back. They went out in the transfer portal and they got another big ass dude at quarterback, going from DJ to Malik Murphy. And I think Malik's going to probably surprise some people. I don't think he's going to be like a sleeper Heisman or anything like that, but he's a big dude who's a serious athlete with a big ass arm.
I would feel really good about this, and it's something I'll ask Ryan Clark too about NIL and stuff. To get back-to-back years of like pretty solid quarterback transfers, that's got to feel good for your program.
It's at least something, right? The problem is with Oregon State, and I heard Sprague talking about this the other day. Their prize offensive weapon outside of Hankerson in Clemens is in a boot on a scooter.
Yeah, that's going to be really challenging. I think you hope we'll get to the wide receiver room here in a second, but sticking with Malik Murphy, I think you hope that the Duke transfer gives you that experience and kind of helps bring up that receiving room just in general, just having some poise, some experience, some, I don't know, being a big dude and kind of somebody back there, because look, quarterback play last year was not good. Not good at all. I mean, some of the, you can look at bad teams and they can still have some consistency at quarterback play. Let's take Tyler Shuck, for example, right? 4 different teams. I mean, he wasn't terrible everywhere he went. He just always felt like he was more than he felt like he was hyped more than he actually was.
Well, it's because he's an enormous quarterback with a big, like, if you're building a quarterback in a lab, it's going to look like Tyler Shuck.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how that goes. And I think, honestly, you could say the same about Malik Murphy. I mean, Malik's a monster.
He's a big kid.
Big old dude. And, like, you know, for Oregon State, for them to be able, and, like, yes, Malik has his flaws, and yes, DJ had his flaws, but, like, you're getting guys that aren't, You're getting guys that were, you know, high level recruits that have some stuff that, yeah, if you're smart and you use some ingenuity and you try to maximize those guys, you can do well with them, which is unfortunate in the sense that Smith left, and you know why he left, and,
right.
and it makes all the sense in the world. It sucks.
Hey, in comparison to their brother at Wazoo, look, we all thought Dicker was going to hang around, and we'll talk about that tomorrow, and he didn't. We all know why.
And I don't blame them.
I don't either.
I don't, and it sucks. And I know Oregon State
Jonathan
guys,
Smith hurts because it's Oregon State.
It's your guy.
Right.
And I thought if anyone was going to stay, it was going to be him. But he just saw the writing on the wall, and it's not a black and white thing. And I know for Oregon State fans, it probably is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he betrayed us. He was one of our own. He didn't, and I get it. And I'm not mad at you for thinking that way. But I look at this program. I think Smith's a really good coach. I genuinely do. And everybody's like, oh, I hope he fails Michigan State and blah blah blah. But I thought that what he was building at Oregon State was building towards something, and it would have been nice to see him be able to push through this, and because I think he's really good at maximizing and developing guys, and that's kind of what Oregon State has been, no matter what coach has been there, even in the Riley years. Like you look at Oregon State is not this like incredibly illustrious program, but look at for where they're kind of perceived, and then look at the guys they've put in the NFL.
Yeah, that's true, and I think I think that's a great point. And losing and not having Clemens makes that really difficult in terms of
that's a big.
in terms of stuff like that. But
yeah.
But to my point of having 2 quarterbacks over the last 3 years transfer in and be stabilizers, that's where Murphy comes in. I'll be really interested in see Trent Bray in year 2, getting back to this coaching stuff. I know it's only his 2nd year, and I know expectations at Oregon State have kind of faltered a little bit due to the current landscape. Nothing that they have done wrong, but just kind of the current landscape. I feel a little make or break with Trent Bray, because they started off really strong last year, minus the Oregon game. Again, I don't really want to kill him for that. But once that Nevada game hit, the wheels really fell off. Really bad quarterback play. Can't win on the road. You beat Wazoo, which is probably, the big game of the year. But if that game was in Pullman, do you win that game? I don't know if they do. And I think that game was 41-38, something like that. So this is a big year, I think, for Bray. I mean, I don't think he's getting fired by any means unless you go 1 win, 2 wins. But I'd like to see his hands-on approach a little more, right? He's taking over the defense. I'd like to see what that shapes, because I think the defense might be the strong point of that team this year.
Yeah, I mesome they've got a couple guys. Nico Taylor's out there, probably the most identifiable defensive player. They've got a couple guys as far as like I want to call them gadget, but I'll use gadget players in the sense of like a Card, who's just a shifty little guy who can make some plays. And it's Oregon State has always been about the sum of its parts and not the individual. That's always been the MO of them. It's just the problem now is the sum of its parts. The gears don't probably match up as well as they used to, because where they used to make their hay was that they would go find a 2 or a 3-star lineman and turn them into an NFL player.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is like, can they continue to do those, to find the skinny high school kid that has the big frame that
hasn't quite filled out
and
yet.
all of a sudden like really work with them and figure that out. And like that's what Oregon State has always done. Yeah, occasionally they would get an in-state guy like what's his name, Musgrave. It was unfortunate that he got dinged up in his couple years at Oregon State, because he's a hell of a player when he was healthy, but like you can't count on those. You have to count on finding those diamonds in the rough and developing them. And in this era, that's becoming harder and harder, because if you develop them, they leave.
Right. Yeah, that's just the nature of the beast right now. Speaking of that, there's a great piece in the Oregonian about Oregon State and their NIL. We'll bring Ryan Clark on, and we'll start there by asking him those questions. We'll keep this Beaver preview going right here on the fan, but first we'll toss it over to Schultze there with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Week 3 of the NFL preseason getting going tonight. Steelers on the road taking on the Carolina Panthers. Aaron Rodgers not taking a snap, not surprising. Pittsburgh, though, still favored by 5.5 at this point. Kickoff set for 4 p.m. on NFL Network. Also, you got the Giants hosting the Patriots. They are also a 5.5-point favorite. New York is. That's a 5 p.m. kick on Prime Video. And some preseason deals happening in the last 24 hours in the NFL. Jets grabbing defensive tackle Harrison Phillips from the Vikings for a pair of future sixth-rounders. Defensive tackle Juwan Briggs plus a seventh-round pick from the Browns for a future sixth-round pick as well. Saints also sending a fourth and seventh round to the Broncos for wideout Devon Vele. And in college football, former head coach Pat Fitzgerald settling his $130 million wrongful termination suit he filed 2 years ago. He was fired amid allegations of widespread hazing in the program. And on to the PGA, round 1 of the Tour Championship, the final season event of the year in action right now in Atlanta. Jacob Bridgman, your tour leader so far, as well as Nick Taylor. They're both tied at 4 under. Bridgman through 9, and Nick Taylor through 7. Colin Morikawa nipping at their heels at 3 under through 6. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schultze from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for Seahawks.
GM, the impact of Blueprint Sports, Damnation, and what the future NIL is kind of building towards at Oregon State.
Yeah, obviously the Beavers brought on Kyle Bjornstad, who used to run Damnation. He'll be in-house now as the general manager for all sports. Obviously, the main focus for him will be, football, men's basketball, women's basketball, and the like. But the changes are such that, adding a group like Blueprint with the connections that it has, with the experience that it has working with, I think, like 70 athletic departments around the country, it allows for them to have a more robust NIL operation and not work with one arm tied behind their back, so to speak, to have somebody in-house, to have somebody contracted to run the collective on the outside, with the collective focusing more on corporate deals and individual donations from regular folks, whereas Kyle and the folks in-house are going to be big on individual larger donors and people that they can try to solicit to back up the Brinks truck, so to speak, for Oregon State. And obviously they're trying to step it up because they need it. They need to be more competitive in the NIL marketplace if they want to continue to be competitive on the field in all sports.
Ryan, when you're looking at this Oregon State team, they do have there's this contrast of like, oh, they're dead. They can't do this, they can't do that. But they're still finding a way to bring in some impact players. Offensively, obviously, the big name is Malik Murphy. Defensively, they bring Rajon Davis up. They're still able to facilitate and manufacture deals that matter and kind of plug and play some guys with experience and still some potential upside. Like when you look at this roster and you kind of look at where they're at, where do you kind of see this team in relation to where they are now and where they need to get to?
Yeah, I think that they are underrated on the whole. I think that Oregon State has invested at different positions. You talk about transfers like Rajon Davis and especially Malik Murphy, who they spent 7 figures on reportedly to play quarterback. Like that matters, and the retention matters for Oregon State and guys returning from injury and the development and the culture overall that OSU seems to be building under Trent Bray. This is a team that, given the favorability of its schedule, I think has the potential to win, if everything falls their way this season, 9 or 10 games. And that would be a massive turnaround from last year, given the fact you lose 6 of your last 7 games down the stretch, and finish 5-7 on the year, and your program's in flux. But I think this is a year that, despite the chaos of college sports and despite how much the Beavers have been impacted by it specifically, that they could surprise some people and that they could, because of the favorability of their schedule, go on a nice run to end the season.
All right, here's the big question, I think, for if you're a Beaver fan or if you're a Beaver adjacent. What the hell's going on with Darius Clemens?
Right now, we don't know. At this point, when we were at practice, we saw it happen. He injured his left leg. He went down non-contact and was in a lot of pain. He's been both on a scooter and on crutches with a boot on his left foot. At this point, we've been plumbing for answers from Trent Bray and obviously not gotten any. He's typically a guy that lets the players make their announcement, as we saw last night with Micaiah Tongue, the linebacker, medically retiring after 4 injuries in 5 years, which is obviously terrible luck for that guy, somebody that would have factored in at inside linebacker. But Darius, right now, we don't know whether it's something that's long-term or something that'll be a few weeks before he's back, but it's not looking like he will be available for the Beavers' first game versus Cal based on the crumbs of information that we've gotten so far.
Ryan Clark on loan from the Oregonian joins us to talk Oregon State football. I want to get into that coach's room real quick with Bray and especially kind of Gunderson in the offense. What kind of pressure is on that coaching staff this year? I don't want to say hot seat necessarily, but what kind of pressure is quarterback play last year was really brutal for the majority of the season. Obviously Murphy comes in. So talk to me a little bit about like what the heat index is in that coaching room.
Yeah, I think that there is definitely pressure to live up to the expectations of being a more balanced offense, of utilizing a guy like Murphy in such a way that, he lives up to his potential. You got to remember, this is a former 5-star guy, went to Texas, backed up Quinn Ewers, got his first opportunity at Duke to start and, had a good season last year, but Duke did choose to move on from Murphy. And you got to wonder as far as, whether he lives up to that hype this year and how that impacts the offense overall. But they're still going to be a run-first team. Obviously, Anthony Hankerson, carries the load for them, but Saladin Allah has really come on and gained some weight this fall and is bigger, stronger, faster than he has been. It's an offense that you see the potential of them being more balanced. You see the receivers that they have in Trent Walker and an upstart guy this fall that we've seen in Eddie Freehoff, a redshirt freshman out of Prineville. Really interesting story there. The potential is certainly there. The question is, can Murphy catch on fast enough to get in a good enough rhythm early in the season for the Beavers to get going and not fall in a deep hole, because those first 4 games are a real challenge.
Kind of a two-parter here for you. How big is bringing Kavanaugh back into the fold on the offensive line been for them, and considering they're returning all their starters, and even with that activity in the transfer portal bolstering their depth, most of their starting offensive unit across the board, with the exception of Murphy, it looks like it's going to be returners, and you've got guys in Caulfield, and you bring in Riley Williams at tight end, or you're just kind of reinforcing kind of what you are. You're kind of that identity. How much does having some of the old guard in Kavanaugh kind of coming back in, being the offensive line guru, kind of feed into maybe trying to tap into that vein of the Oregon State history?
Yeah, I mean, that's a guy that fits the mold of an Oregon State coach and an Oregon State offensive line coach specifically, not just because he was here with Mike Riley for all those years and developed some of the best offensive lines in the country, but just his presence, his aura. He might not use that word as a much more old school guy, but he has it, and it matters for what I think is a talented and deep Oregon State offensive line room. The question at this point for them is health. They've got a few guys who are starting caliber that had been dinged up coming out of the spring. They're much healthier now than they were at the start of camp, but not everybody is back. And a test for that depth will be these first couple of weeks against Cal and Fresno State. How do they protect Malik Murphy while he's still figuring out the offense? But what I've seen, regardless of who's on the field during fall camp, is this O-line is getting a great push on the run and continuing to solidify that identity of Oregon State football. They're not going to just be a ground and pound team that if they can't run the ball, game's over this year, but certainly that's going to be central to their identity. And you mentioned Riley Williams at tight end. That's a guy who has a potential to, make good on his potential and add to the tight ends room with a bit of a local flair and being a former Central Catholic guy. Huge tight end, 6'5", 270, big, strong guy, great in the run game, and extremely deft feet for a dude his size. So excited to see what he does.
You mentioned it best. Those first 4 games are going to be kind of a rough stretch, but we should learn a lot about this team. Should ease up a little bit after that. Realistic expectations, Ryan? I mean, due to the schedule, you could maybe squeak out 8-9 games, or are we looking at maybe another 5-7? Like, could this team start off 1-3?
I certainly think 1-3 is possible, and then after a 1-3, you could get to 9-3. That's how crazy the final stretch is compared to the opening, right? It's hard to beat a team twice. They'll have to play Washington State twice down the stretch, and the second one is in Pullman in late November, which is sure to just be lovely weather up there.
Guilty as charged. I am alumni. It is not fun up there at that time.
I look forward to getting a rental car when I'm trying to get around up there. But regardless of my own personal perils, the schedule overall, obviously, the start is brutal. You essentially have to win those first 2 games, right? Cal is a team that you feel like you're on the same level of as a program. Same with Fresno State, if not a bit above them. You got to win those 2 games because at Texas Tech and at Oregon in back-to-back weeks, a lot of folks have penciled that in pretty much as guaranteed L's for the Beavers. Nothing's guaranteed in college football, but those programs have just spent so much more money on their rosters, and especially Texas Tech. They've basically built this, pick your poison out of the transfer portal $50 million roster, which is insane. I do think that is a potential upset win for the Beavers if they can put it all together really well in the first two games, only because you've got all these pieces coming together for Texas Tech that you don't know if they fit together quite yet. But the backstretch, their final 7 games are all against teams below them in the FPI, ESPN's FPI, however reliable that might be. A couple of them are past the 100 mark too. You know, got Appalachian State, which is a long way to go for them on the road, but certainly not a program that you feel like you should compete closely with.
Lastly, future of the in-state rivalry, formerly known as the Civil War.
Yeah, I mean, the things I keep hearing, and these are obviously unofficial statements and rumors on the street, is that there is a possibility of the game not being played next year and then being resumed in 2027. At this point, nothing is finalized. There is still the possibility, of the Beavers and Ducks working out their schedules, but you see schedules opening up for both of the teams in the future, just not quite next year, which is already currently set for both of them. You got the Beavers transitioning into the reformed Pac-12. There's a lot of complication at play here, and it takes both of the schools to play ball to really get the rivalry game solidified into the future.
All right, that's Ryan Clark on loan from the Oregonian. Go check him out, read his pieces. There's a bunch of great stuff up right now. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us. We'll check back in during the season, all right?
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you, my friend. That is Ryan Clark from the Oregonian. He writes a lot of great stuff, follows the Beavs over there at the Oregonian. So definitely check him out, give him a follow. Yeah, easy follow. And I know Dirt and Sprague have him on from time to time, too. So check him out when he's over there. We come back, we'll finish up this chatter about Oregon State as we press on the Firm 105.1 The Fan.
Prime firm of Harris and Marang on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Damn it, Jim. What would you say you do here?
All right, big thanks to Ryan Clark from the Oregonian joining us to chat some Oregon State Beavers. We will do Washington State tomorrow, and then next week we'll dive into Oregon and UW to get you your locality fill as we reach closer and closer to week 1. Do you think, just kind of laughing and having, since we got a lot of kind of quick segue here, if you're Oregon State and Washington State, and you're kind of like worried about like the future of your programs, you don't play week 0. That's kind of a plus, right?
I mean,
why do I feel like week 0 is such a negative connotation? Like Iowa State and Baylor, they're fine. They're playing in Ireland. Like that's okay. But like, I don't know. I feel like if I played week 0, that would make me feel like I was not part of the cool kids.
I don't really care, to be honest.
It switches from year to year.
Dynamite
right?
drop in, Monty.
Yeah, just
Well, I feel like some years it's better.
certainly, it can be, but
Some years it kind of sucks, like this year.
It's just kind of a whatever. I'm a I'm a Josh Pate guy in the sense of like 0 week is not the official start of college football. Week 1 is.
But they count. The games
They do.
actually count.
And I'll watch, and I'm not going to disregard it. But it's like a little teaser, a little aperitif.
Kind of like baseball in Japan. Did you think that was real? Schultze, when you watch that?
Well, see, Patrick, that's confusing because when the Mariners went way back when, they played 2 spring training games in Japan and
Right.
then also played 2 regular season games. So that was just like, what are we doing?
But I think we were doing the hot corner during the Japan series.
Yeah.
Did we feel like that was real baseball, even though it counted?
Wasn't there a week between it?
There was
2 weeks.
Yeah,
the
that-
Dodgers played 2 games and then they were off.
That's the weird part about it.
Yeah.
Is that huge gap between playing.
But like week 0, I watched those games like with a magnifying glass because I was just stoked to have real baseball.
You know what, Patrick? I'm going to say no because they're allowed to have 28 on their roster when they're in Japan. So no, that's still spring effing training, damn it.
No, it doesn't count. All right, well, we got a loaded 11 o'clock hour for you. Like I said, that's our Oregon State preview. We'll get to Oregon and UW next week. Alex Brink will be on tomorrow to chat some Wazoo football, so we'll do that as well. Coming up, I would like to ask Danny, poke him. I'm going to poke the bear.
Look at you, just being a coward.
I'm going to put, why am I being a coward?
Clock coward.
I am a clock coward.
God.
Damn right, dude. My boss likes that I'm a clock coward. Huh? Don't be shocked as to why your boss ain't sitting in this chair no more, huh? Huh? It ain't that fancy new shiny ring he got up there, dude. It might be
We were the most on the clock show, even with our derailments. I don't want to hear it.
I'm going to poke the bear on Danny when we come back. Plus, we'll have Tears Day in the 11 o'clock hour. Hang out with us. We're having fun. 105.1 The Fan.
At Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, final week of NFL preseason action gets going tonight. The Steelers hit the road, taking on the Carolina Panthers. Aaron Rodgers not going to take a snap, not surprising. Pittsburgh, though, favored by 5.5 in that one. Kickoff set for 4 on NFL Network. Later on, you got the Giants hosting the Patriots. New York, a 5.5-point favorite as well in that one. That's a 5 p.m. kick on Amazon Prime Video. Some preseason deals happening in the last 24 hours. Jets grabbing defensive tackle Harrison Phillips from the Vikings for a pair of future 6th-rounders. They also got another defensive tackle, Jawan Briggs, and a 7th-rounder from the Browns for a future 6th-round pick. The Saints swapping 4th and 7th-rounders with the Broncos for wideout Devon Vele. And on to the PGA, round 1 of the final of the year. It's the Tour Championship happening right now in Atlanta. Jacob Bridgman still on top, along with Nick Taylor and Colin Morikawa, now moving into a tie for first, all at 4 under. Keegan Bradley, Ludwig Oberg sitting tied for 4th at 3 under. They're each on 6. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Heard missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of prime time with Isaac and Sue. Weekdays 3 to 7. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM. The firm of Harris and Marang. Not ambulance chasing, but plenty of rides in one.
From the hips down, man, it's a disaster.
The firm. Patrick Harris.
And someone crashed their car on the I-5 bridge.
Danny Marang.
I've had some bad runs.
On the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 and 1080. The Fan.
Welcome into hour number 2, the firm of Harris and Marang. If you missed the first hour, including Ryan Clark from the Oregonian, we chatted some Oregon State football leading into the season. You can download that, the Fan Podcast, 105.1 The Fan. The Odyssey app lets you even go backwards on the Odyssey app if you want to check it out.
You don't have to go to SMU to build a time machine.
You do not have to go to SMU to build a time machine. Plus, you can always get our podcasts wherever you get your podcasts. Something's wrong with me, Danny. I keep saying Iowa State Baylor, and I don't know why. Is it because maybe I think those two teams could win the Big 12? It's Iowa State, Kansas State in Ireland. I don't know what's wrong with me.
It happens. It happens. But I mean, it's a top 25 Big 12 matchup in 0 week.
I know.
Like that's
not in this country.
Yeah,
not in this hemisphere.
No. It's going to be spicy. You know, Matt Campbell's looked at as kind of like the next, super great coach. And
dude, I heard them say this morning, did you know Wazoo has a better winning percentage than Iowa State over the last some odd years?
I thought Iowa State was better, but like their down years are so bad
they beat us in a Fiesta Bowl. Yeah, we lost with Minshew. We went to the Fiesta Bowl.
I had this same thought a year ago, maybe 2 years ago with Dusty, and Dusty like pulled it up during the break, and he's like, we just went through the records of like the last 25 years, and it was like, yeah, outside the Seneca Wallace years, man, it was tough. But like when they're good, like they're pretty damn good.
Well, and Campbell's viewed as this guy that could get, a Michigan job.
Yeah.
Could get a Florida job.
And he's got a quarterback in Rocco Beck that like looks like they might have some stuff there. Now they're replacing 2 wide receivers that went to the NFL in the first 2 days. That's tough to do. But, I'm interested. Like that game has so many touch points of like, what does Iowa State look like? What does Campbell do with that team? How does Rocco Beck look? But also in the Kansas State side of things, like, does Avery Johnson kind of figure some stuff out?
Yeah.
Fine. Like you just kind of look at that team, like there's a lot of stuff in that game. And, speaking to like what Bartu mentioned the other day, the margin of victory stuff is like, okay, the Big 12, no teams picked below 5.5 wins, but no teams picked above 8.5 wins. So like what is there an early differentiation line?
An offense might go bonkers in the Big 12. Yeah, we'll talk Iowa State, Kansas State tomorrow. It is a ranked matchup going into week 0 since tomorrow football's back.
A ranked conference matchup.
Ranked conference matchup. Dude, I'd be pissed at the schedule, people. We'll chat about that tomorrow. But me feeling stupid and not ready to go for today. Danny, I have a feeling this might be you come basketball season. We've joked about it a little bit. We've kind of teetered with it and kind of flash mentioned it. I want to hear your real feelings, your true, honest toilet, TikTok, Twitter rage 8 o'clock start times
pissed.
on a Tuesday.
I'm pissed. Are you kidding me? This is entirely me selfishly. Okay, so we switched time slots from noon to 3 to 10 to 1. That's going to kind of screw me up a little bit already because
which we were stoked about.
Look,
we were excited for the opportunity. Yeah, we thought this was an untapped time at our station. We were stoked about
the radio part of it. Great. Again, this is for me personally, selfishly. The great thing about getting off air at 3 is Moda Center is 4 minutes away.
Yep.
And I would get off air. I would be in Moda by 3:15. And I could just sit down in the media room. I could watch film. I could write. I could go talk to guys in the hallway. I could go, sit on the court, talk to coaches, agents, executives, whoever, before things really got rolling. That's where I did a lot of my work, right? Well, now I'm getting off air at 1. It's like, well, do I drive an hour home to Newburgh and chill there and then try to drive back in traffic?
You're going to have to try it once. You're going to have to try it once.
And see what that's going to be. And then for like an 8 o'clock tip, it's like, well, so what time am I getting there now? And like, how much time am I spending there now? And then what time am I getting out of there? Because, hey, I also do TV after the game. And it's like...
8 o'clock game, what time do you think after TV you'll be done?
Well, normally I'm done at 11:30 to 12 on a 7 o'clock tip, which an 8 o'clock tip will be an 8:12 tip because a 7 o'clock tip is a 7:12 tip.
Why are they doing the 8 o'clock? Just to spread things out? Will there be 7 o'clock West Coast games and 8 o'clock West Coast games?
Yes, I don't know why.
Wow, that's a big TV push.
Well, it's those games. I think almost all the 8 o'clock games are on the streamers. I have to double check it, but I believe it's Amazon and NBC/Peacock. So I got to double check it, but. That bracket sucks, like that time slot, because like I'm looking at it and like I'm gonna get off air at 12:30, and heaven forbid a game go to overtime. If one of those games goes to overtime, I'm not gonna get home until 2:30, and it's just like, and then again selfishly,
right.
I've got to get up earlier to be in here earlier.
Get your ass down here.
And I'm just sitting there looking.
This is your day job. That's your night job. This is your day job.
I'm just going to be like, just mainlining.
Yeah, you're gonna go to 4 of those quickly.
Dude, like it's going to be bad. I'm going to be
Danny on caffeine pills now.
Oh, dude, I'm going to be tipping back the 4-hour energies before I house the energy drinks.
All right, 2 quick points on this. One, they're ensuring that nobody on the East Coast will watch these games.
That's the truth.
Nobody will know that the Blazers or Golden State Warriors even exist at this point.
I can't wait for East Coast writers to write about the Blazers after a couple 8 o'clock back-to-backs.
Oh,
be like,
you kidding me? It's
hey, not
AI.
looking very good. Yeah.
It's going to be AI written.
Yeah.
You kidding me? It's 11:15 tip-off.
See, and that sounds awesome to me, man.
No, I was watching Mariners games at 10:10 last week.
Like, if
that
I was
amazing.
If I was a national writer and all I had to do was write,
Oh, yeah.
and I lived on the East Coast, like, you're in a unique situation because you get here around 9-ish and we get ready for this show. So that's going to be tough. If you're just writing and you're not doing a show like we are, like an 11 o'clock game, hell yeah, brother.
Yeah,
I'm on my 3rd beer and here we go, dude. I'm going to watch the rest of this game. I'm going to pass out right away. I'm going to take a bunch of notes, try to decipher my drunk, shorthand scribble about, Wizards at Blazers on a Wednesday night.
Get up at 11 o'clock for practice.
Yeah, and then get up at 11 and sleep in.
Yeah,
That'd be
roll out of
nice.
bed. All right, and Danny, I don't think it's actually too selfish that you're pointing the time thing out because I just think of the kids. I grew up
The
in Salem,
children.
Oregon.
Oh,
right?
no, the families, man. Like,
Yeah.
an 8 o'clock tip for a family.
So-
there's so many families that dip out at halftime because it's already too late.
And if I were going to the 2 games that I went to as a kid, I am begging my dad, can we please stay? So now he's got to get up butt ass early in the morning.
Yeah.
We're looking at probably you're look at a 12:30 finish. We're getting home at 12:30. It's not good.
What if during the school year you make weekday games 21 and over and like play it up? Singles night, karaoke night. Just treat the Moda Center like a bar. That'd be great.
Like the Rockies do.
You yeah, like the Rockies do. Like, just come here and party. Look, there's no kids. It's a weekday. It's a school night. Be the responsible adult. Leave those little tax deductions at home. Come down here and get housed with us, dude. Chauncey's taking beer bongs at halftime, baby. Let's go.
If he were contractually obligated to do that, I think that's a great idea.
I think it would be excellent. I need to be in charge of PR over there. They need to get me in charge over there. This is $1 million idea. This is $1 billion idea when I spread it to the rest of the league.
Well, you do that, you got to lower the price of the beers.
Well, yeah, we will, because we got to get people in, and we got to get people to stay.
Oh,
and beers are continuing to be sold until the 2-minute warning.
And here's the other thing: you want to get people to stay, and you want to get people there. Have a entertainment district.
Yeah. Damn it, Danny! I was having fun over here. You and your logic.
Put a damn casino downtown,
Yeah,
please.
dude. I was having fun over here.
Dude, they put a sports book in a new arena. Oh my god.
Oh, it's lit.
Real question. Are there 8 o'clock games on the East Coast? They're doing it there too.
They've done
7 and 8.
They've done some historically, some staggers. So the 5 o'clock tip on the West Coast kind of a deal. And it's like, I get it. You don't want to have all of your things on at the same time. The NFL does the same thing where they have some staggers with their kickoffs and stuff like that. And same with college football, because you just want to have the inventory available across all the time zones. But like on the West Coast, nobody wants to stay up and watch an 8:15 tip.
Yeah,
that's insanity.
Dude, I don't even want to do that, man.
7:30, the 7:30 tips. When we had those,
I'm in bed at 9:30.
Dude, we all got grumpy about it.
I'm in bed at 9:30.
Everybody that covers the team, when the Blazers were better and they were getting a lot of national TV games, they were getting 20, 30 national TV games, they were getting 7:30 tips and stuff like that. Or
the 7:30s are like more like 7:50 tips.
Yeah, it was more like 8.
Yeah.
You saw TNT on the schedule, and the old joke for any of us that cover the team was like, "Oh god, that first game's going to overtime." Like we knew it. Like it was going to go to overtime, and God, it happened so many times. I remember times when we had like 8:12, 8:15, 8:20 tips that were supposed to be 7:30.
Oh, because of TV, yeah.
Because of TV, because it's national only, and you're just sitting there like.
Well, I am building the runway for you to be stupid, as the text line is reporting, because I'm an idiot. Wazoo didn't lose to Iowa State. They beat Brock Purdy in the Alamo Bowl in 2018. See, dude? So just be glad you have me, man.
There you go.
You have me. I don't know anything.
There you go. It's helpful.
Yeah, that way. So if you come in dragging ass on a Wednesday because there was a late Tuesday night game, don't worry. I'll bail you out.
Oh, I'm going to look haggard as hell.
I'm stupid.
If you think I dress down now, oh, buddy, I'm going to be nailing it in so hard.
And Danny in a muumuu.
Yeah, dude. Are you kidding me? It's like...
Got some words that you need a bachelor pad downtown. Nice.
I got to find something, man.
Roommates with one of the guys that lives closer, dude. You can sleep on the couch here.
Yeah, well,
the casting couch right over there.
That's not a bad idea. I've slept on it before.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
First day I ever did this show.
Yeah, well, that day will live in infamy forever.
Yeah.
I was not in good shape.
Dude, it's my get out of jail free card.
Well, I went 3 years before needing one, so.
I've gone 3 weeks without one, so that's kind of the same, right?
You've had more talking to than me.
That is true. And I'm going to have more. I'm expecting to get one today with Baylor versus Iowa State.
I don't know why
and
you had
Wazoo
Baylor
in a Fiesta
Yeah.
Bowl. Yo, bro, that's an Alamo Bowl.
Yeah, come on. Yeah,
Dude,
you're a Wazoo guy.
I
Come
just
on now.
assume we're in the Sun Bowl every year.
Yeah,
to be
I mean,
honest.
it's a safe bet. It's a safe bet.
My wife never understands why I always want to go to El Paso, and it's like maybe I'll stumble on a Wazoo game there.
You're going in October,
and the Sun Bowl's early this year.
They might be playing.
We're playing UTEP.
They've been playing UTEP. Yeah, there's a
future conference champion of the Pac-12.
You're rolling the dice, and you're like, yeah, probably UTEP.
It's Thursday, and we're still messing around until we really get in the swing of things. So we're still rocking some Tears Day. When we come back, what is Tears Day today, Danny? What is it? Animals that I could punch in the face?
Mm-hmm.
Animals that I could fight. Animals I could beat in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
My list is very not good.
The my favorite tier is I would paint the walls with their blood.
You're get ready to use your favorite word a lot.
Oh yeah.
Get ready to use your favorite word a lot. 503-864-6326. That's next. That's Danny Marang. I'm Patrick Harris, 105.1 The Fan.
Oregon The Firm of Harris and Marang on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This guy here is dead.
Cross him off then.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
All right, coming up in a half hour, we'll have Web Gems. I got a good one here. Everybody loves it when somebody buys them food, especially when you call it out live on the air. So we'll get to that at 11:45. And then in the noon o'clock hour, our future overlords, not Dundon, but like the ESPN overlords, they're at it again. Plus some NFL and some college football. We'll send you on your way.
There you go.
Nice little show today. Here we are. It is Thursday. It is Tears Day. And Danny, you came up with animals I could beat in a fight.
Yeah, I had a couple different ones. There's a movie one. Like all the movie ones always have like 200 movies.
Whoa.
Those are the small ones. There's one that had like 1,500. And I was like,
Nope.
Like if we were going to do it, it would have to be like ranking like the, top 50.
Right.
And then, then the list
Maybe
gets
even
subject.
top 20.
But you know what I mean? But then it
Yeah.
gets super subjective.
Right. What's top 50?
Yeah. And then there's another one we'll get to. It's the sitcom hots.
Sitcom hots. Yeah. I want sitcom hots of the 90s.
Oh, yeah. That's what we're focused on. And it's men and women.
Oh, nice.
Look, John Stamos is going to be on here.
Yeah, dude, he is good.
I saw him.
looking.
I think I've mentioned this before. I played drums for 20 years. There's a social instructional service called Drumeo,
Okay.
where they bring in drummers. That if you haven't seen or if you've seen the one of Chad Smith, the Chili Peppers drummer, like he plays. They play songs. They take the drum track out of it, and they just try to have him improvise what it would sound like. And Chad Smith ended up doing a 30 Seconds to Mars song. He didn't know the song, and he ended up playing it better probably than 30 Seconds to Mars did. And it was like, oh, this is pretty dope. But they have Michael Jackson's drummer. Like they've had like some of the best drummers on the planet come through and do this kind of stuff, and it's just super cool to watch. Like you've got Pantera's drummer, and it's super cool to kind of get into that stuff and kind of see where it goes. But like doing a list like that of music, or then it gets super subjective because you'll throw on your Grateful Dead and I'll just laugh at you.
I wouldn't say that's great music. I just like it a lot. I know the difference between good and great.
You have multiple stickers of Grateful Dead things.
Just one.
Don't you have one in your car?
Yeah, but it's the same sticker.
Okay. Come on now.
But it's the same sticker.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Sticker guy.
I'm ish sticker guy.
Okay.
I'm ish sticker guy. Your categories today are I'd be too scared to even fight.
Mm-hmm.
I'd get torn to bleeping shreds. I'd get in a few hits, but I would lose. It would be a close one, but I'd lose. 50-50 chance that I win or lose. It would be a close one, but I win. They'd get a few hits in, but ultimately I would win, and I would paint the walls in their blood. I'll start first. I'd be too scared to fight. This is my second largest tier. There are a lot of things in here that I just the difference between this tier and the next tier is this tier has things that are either ginormous or could sneak up on me and I would be terrified. That is a tiger, an orangutan, a gorilla, a panda, a lion, an elephant, a cow, is that a sperm whale, a blue whale?
One
of the two?
One of the two.
A turtle, a dolphin, and a shark.
Whoa!
Dude, man, I love Finding Nemo, dude. I'd be too scared to fight Crush.
Turtle?
I love turtles.
Wow.
I like turtles.
If you're talking like, what is it, the loggerhead snapping turtle? Like, that's the only one I
Dude,
think
that is a huge-ass turtle.
That's like a sea turtle.
Yeah, I'm not fighting a sea turtle.
Look, man. Our lists aren't that dissimilar. I do not have a turtle.
Oh, I forgot one.
Komodo dragon?
No.
Oh.
The puppy dog.
Oh, yeah. So I debated that.
I'm too afraid to fight a puppy dog.
I'm
a little kitty cat. Meow.
I debated just like excluding the dog altogether, just because I'm so pro dog. But I'd be too scared.
Instead, I would paint the walls in your blood.
My too scared to fight Komodo dragon. I've seen one of those up close. Like they have like some sort of like venom in their deal too. It's a big, powerful lizard, man. Like I don't. I'm going to contradict myself because there's one on this that I think people will go, wait, what? The silverback, hell no. What looks like a gaboon viper, which or a boom slang, that's the nope rope.
The nope rope?
Oh yeah, that is a boom slang. If I remember right, it liquefies your insides. So I'm out because it's not like it got a lick on me. No, it gets one lick, you're done. Like I'm out. The whale, hippo, grizzly, tiger, lion, rhino, elephant, cheetah. I put the bald eagle out on here out of respect.
USA, USA.
Salute. I'm not touching you. The shark, the orangutan, and the panda.
In the next, I'd get torn to bleeping shreds. This is a lot of animals that like I would want to look at majestically, be like, wow, you're really cool, and would get absolutely destroyed. I got the gator on there.
Got
the bear.
Yep.
Is that a rhino?
Yep.
The rhino and the hippo, because I'd be like, whoa, rhino and a hippo.
You know,
absolutely destroyed.
Hippos kill more people every year than sharks.
Yeah, dude, they're like the deadliest animal on the planet. There's a cheetah there.
Okay.
The octopus for sure.
You're not too scared to fight a cheetah?
No.
Wow.
Wait, I'd get torn to shreds. Well, because the way I'm looking at it is that if I saw a cheetah in the wild, I'd be like, whoa, that's a cheetah. And then I would end up hanging around too long. And then the cheetah would come at me and be like, ah, crap, I got to fight this.
Like
so it's like stupidity I'm fighting.
Okay, because my I'd be too scared to even fight. It's like if I see one of these, I'm like, nope.
Yeah, and mine's like, oh, look at that bear. And it's like, you should turn around.
I saw a video the other day of a guy in a safari, one of the drivers, a rhino started like inching close to them. He throws in a reverse and guns it because he can tell the rhino's got like the I'm gonna get you look, and this rhino charges at him for what appears to be a half mile, and he's going in reverse, gunning it through the safari, and I'm just like,
one of my favorite subreddits.
Nope.
Nature is effing lit.
Oh yeah.
I also have on here the octopus. The octopus is extremely dangerous.
Okay.
Man. They are extremely dangerous.
Got to avoid that beak.
Yeah, get away from the octopus. They have 8 arms. Look up on Family Feud when Steve Harvey asks a woman, what would an octopus do to 8 people at the same time? That's really funny, but NSFW. The horse, again, I would look at it and be like, wow, that's cool. Bam! Done. Same with the deer. Same with the zebra. Same with the Komodo dragon. Same with the alpaca. And dude, I think wolves are so cool.
Yeah.
I think wolves are so awesome. Would get absolutely destroyed.
Fair.
Yep.
My getting torn to shreds. There's a theme here. It's animals that aren't intimidating, but the mass is just so overwhelming. So zebra / horse. Have you ever seen the video of the horse kicking the guy, the bucking, the back kick, like just launching humans 15 feet into the air?
That sounds not fun.
Oh yeah, dude. There's no amount of damage I could do to I can't eye gouge a horse into submission. You know what I mean? There's no if I got a headlock on him and drug him down, there's too much muscle. There's nothing I can do there. Same thing with a cow. I can't. There's just too much.
You can't F5 a cow.
No, there's no. I can't sweep the leg, dog.
Yeah, well, I F5'd your mom last night.
Hey, cows scratch their back on barbed wire.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. There's nothing you can do. And then the odd submission here, because this is an animal you can't take out of its domain. The dolphin. Dolphin is whooping my ass in the water. Have you seen what freaking dolphins and orcas do? What they do to other animals?
Yeah, they mess around, dude.
They just kick them for the hell of it.
They're jerks.
And I'm like, you know what, dude? That's a lot. A dolphin is basically a mussel with fins. And it's there's nothing really pointy on it other than some teeth, but that thing's just going to beat the hell out of me in the water. I want no part of a dolphin.
I'll be real quick in this, and then we'll take a break and come back. I'd get a few hits in, but I would lose. The bald eagle. Those talons.
Yeah.
That would pierce my eyeballs out.
Birds of prey.
I put the squid in here only because the head is so elongated that maybe I could get a couple shots in, but I think them tentacles would get me. The sheep. I think the sheep would whoop my ass.
I would have put you in a ring with a sheep right now.
I think the sheep would whoop my ass. What is that? Is that a sea lion?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah. And then there's the seal.
Yeah.
There's a seal there. Then there's the nope rope.
Yeah.
Because I might get a couple punches in, but See ya.
Yeah, it gets one, you're cooked.
And for similar reasons of the sheep, I got the billy goat. I think that bro would just light me up with them horns.
This is maybe my ego kicking in. I get a few hits, but I would lose. I went deer.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. If I can steer, if I get lucky and I can steer the antler.
Hold on to the antlers?
If I can,
bro, I think the deer is going to chuck your ass up against a tree.
Look, if I can angle just right, because here's the thing. Body follows where the head goes. And this isn't a cow. This isn't a horse. This isn't a zebra. A deer's 140 pounds. If I get a hold of those antlers, I can steer. You know what I mean? I could tilt him away. We get him on the ground. I could do some ground and pound. We can do ground and pound. Right? I'm going to lose.
Chokehold.
But you know what I mean? I know where the back straps are. I could throat punch him. I know where to go. And then this is the ego pick. It's the wolf.
Yeah, you think you can fight a wolf?
I'm losing. I'm losing.
But it would be a good fight.
Look, there's a lot more to work with. Don't be wrong. The biggest wolves get real big. But if we're talking like 80, 90 pounds, he's going to tear my ass up.
Yeah.
And I'm going to lose. He's probably going to get that Vulcan death grip on my throat and snap me off. But, there's it's groin, neck, eyes. Like there's some open stuff to get there. I'm going to lose, but I'm going to get some licks in. That's where I'm at.
That's where you're at. When we come back, it would be a close one, but I'd lose 50-50. It would be a close one, but I'd win. They'd get some hits in, ultimately win, and I would paint the walls in their blood. This can't end well. We'll do all that next, but first, there's Schulte with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Week 3 of the NFL preseason getting going tonight. The Steelers hit the road to take on the Carolina Panthers. No Aaron Rodgers, just not in action for this final preseason game. Pittsburgh still favored by 5.5, though. Kickoff set for 4 p.m. on NFL Network. You got the Giants hosting the Patriots after that. New York, a 5.5-point favorite as well. That's a 5 p.m. kick on Amazon Prime Video. In college football, former head coach Pat Fitzgerald settling his $130 million wrongful termination lawsuit he filed 2 years ago. He was fired amid allegations of widespread hazing throughout the program. In round 1 of the Tour Championship in action right now in Atlanta at East Lake Country Club as we take a look at golf. The leaderboard now with some movement on it. Colin Morikawa and Ludwig Åberg moving to the top, tied for first at 4 under. Jacob Bridgman down with Nick Taylor and Patrick Cantlay, along with Keegan Bradley, Justin Thomas, and Tommy Fleetwood, all at 3 under. Closest to finishing would be Bridgman. He's at 3 under and on 14. Fleetwood also at 3 under, only through 4 so far through the day. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk. Curtain missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Sports Saturday with Joe Fisher and Rashad Taylor. Saturday mornings at 9 on the Fan Sports Network. The Firm of Harris and Marang on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1
What is,
FM
Colorado
and 1080 AM.
All right, coming up, Web Jams here in about 15 minutes.
That's a sound you never want to hear.
I think most people say if you hear that sound, it's already too late.
Too late.
It's already too late. The nope rope.
Yeah.
I can't get over the nope rope.
Yeah, nope rope. Nope rope is a hard pass. I am not like fully anti-snake. Like people that are snake people weird me out. Like snakes can be cool. Like if we're talking like pythons, stuff like that, stuff that's not gonna like bite me. But people who keep venomous snakes.
You're asking for it,
bro. Again, if you wanna just add a level of fear to you that you did not know, just read on the boom slang what its toxin does to you.
You know what?
It is nutty.
You know what? I'm not going to.
If I remember right, I don't believe there's anti-venom for it.
Oh, yeah. That's not good.
So, yeah, nope.
It would be a close one, but I'd lose. Look, I lumped every single one of these except for the bald eagle because I thought the bald eagle would just smoke me into one group, and that's birds. Because I think what would happen is the birds, because they can like fly, is eventually like they would overtake me and I would start swinging at them and missing, and I'd probably start swinging and missing and they were flying over a cliff and then I'd fall off. So I've got the little sparrow there, a parrot, a goose, a mallard, a peacock, and an owl. Dude, an owl would mess you up. Also, the last one in this category is a little kitty cat.
You'd lose to the kitty cat?
Well, I think what would happen is then I would start feeling bad for the kitty cat, and I'd lie down and try to snuggle with it, and then it would just eat my jugular.
Kitty cat would turn into a punt pass kick competition.
But I like the kitty cat. I'd be like, "Oh man, kitty cat!
It would
turn
into Baxter from Anchorman, just a drop kick off a bridge.
Oh man, kitty cat's so hurt. Kitty cat, let's snuggle a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I'm done.
No.
I got kitty cat in there.
Thud. That's what I'm going to call it. Thud.
What? This is my kitty cat thud. Why do you call it thud? Because if it ever acts out, thud.
I didn't have a single thing in the it would be close one, but I'd lose.
That's the most Danny Marang thing I'd ever heard. I don't have anything in an it would be close one, but I'd win.
I don't either.
Oh.
So I'll go to mine here. The 50-50.
The 50-50. I've only got one in here.
Okay, again, this is my ego talking here. Seal.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. Seal, I don't have to fight in the water.
No, you don't have to fight in the water.
Seal's on the ground. He's got flippers. What's he going to do? Flipper me to
And
death?
he waddles around,
yeah.
you know? He's a fat ass.
Look, I can't move like I used to. I can still dance around him, just stick and move. But
float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Here's the thing. Seals do have teeth. So like there's a 50-50 chance that thing bites the living hell out of me.
I'll bet you if a seal slapped you in the face, that would not feel good.
You know what I mean? Like catches me on a bad day. You know, I had an 8:00 tip off the night before. All of a sudden I'm a little groggy. Just seal slaps me and then bites my throat out. Goes just full homicidal seal. And here's where it gets real egregious. Gator.
You're gonna wrestle a gator.
Here's the thing. The gator, like if you're talking like sliders of like effectiveness, prehistoric killing machine.
Yeah.
Has not evolved because it hasn't needed to.
Yeah.
Flip side, you can hold its jaw closed with 2 fingers.
Okay.
So if you can get that rear naked choke position and you're on the ground.
All right.
Look, man.
But if he starts rolling, you're in trouble.
Look.
You're in big trouble if he starts rolling.
Again, this is why it's 50-50.
50-50.
If them jaws close, it's curtains. But if I get the jaw, I'm sitting there. I'm gonna beat that gator to death. I'm ripping both eyes out.
That's the most redneck thing I've heard you say.
We're just gonna hold on, just sit there and just beat the hell out of that thing's neck. Just go, until it just nope.
Is that your 50-50?
Yeah, my 50-50. Just the seal and the gator.
My 50-50 is a ferret. I think that ferret might whoop my ass. I think he'd be attached to my jugular, and I'd be like trying to rip it off while I'm pulling my jugular out of my neck.
It just flies at you. Just,
That's what terrified me, dude. He would catch me so off guard that I'd be absolutely terrified and I'd probably lose.
Why do I imagine both of you like Uncle Eddie from Christmas Vacation right now, just fighting little animals?
Oh yeah,
dude.
Exactly
100%.
Oh, dude, I'd get so worked. The ferret is just my only 50-50.
That's it?
Yep, that's it. They'd get in a few hits, but ultimately I would win. I got the little mouse and an iguana. The iguana would be like, yak, yak. And I'd be like, dude, that sucks. And then I'd pick him up and throw him.
Look, man, I've been in Mexico and had some invasive iguanas that may or may not have caught air into the ocean. So they did not make that list for me. The few hits, this is where the birds come in.
Yeah. Dude, birds are a difficult thing to fight.
I'm telling you right now, the fact that you did not have a swan in this list is crazy.
In what?
too.
In the in anywhere in the few hits or
Mine's it would be close, but I'd lose.
Oh, you had the swan there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I said goose. I'm sorry, it's a swan.
Yeah, dude, swans are a-holes.
Yeah, dude, I'm not into that.
That bird is a jerk of jerks.
Well, I'm surprised crows weren't even on the list because they have like a system. They remember faces of human beings. They will like bring you gifts. Like once they figure out they outnumber humans, it's actually bad for us. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
So crows should be somewhere
It's
on
why
this
it's
list.
murder of crows. Yeah. The duck, the mallard, is also on here. Look,
This is your birds.
I'm winning.
Yeah.
But he's gonna slap me around a little bit just because he can. Again, it's the flight. The macaw, the parrot. Yeah. Like, again, he's got a big old beak. But listen, bird, I got a hold of that wing, and you're in a bucket. Don't even start with me. Owl. Yeah. Same. You're gonna scratch me up a little bit, but once I get a hold of you, you're cooked. Peacock. Look, man. You got some talons on you, but you can't fly. You're fast.
They can fly.
They can fly like a chicken or a turkey.
Yeah, they can fly.
I put the puppy here. I put the dog here. I don't want to. I could never actually hit a dog.
But your ego is too large for you to put it down the list.
Yeah, it's, and also the alpaca and the billy goat. Look, man, alpaca, you got too much neck. You get too much exposed.
Yeah, dude.
I could throat punch you over the course of 3 feet.
Don't those things spit at you too?
Which would
that would gross me out.
It would just piss me off.
Yeah, that would gross me
And
out.
that billy goat, he weighs 20 pounds, man.
Yeah.
Is he gonna headbutt me in the knee and tear my ACL? Probably, but he's also getting DDT'd into another dimension.
All right, we're really up against this. I would paint the walls in their blood. This was easy. If you live in water and I can pick you up, you are on land. The Finding Nemo there, the crab, the lobster, and the sea urchin.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you might that lobster might get me in the water or even freshly out the water, but I'll wait you out, dude.
I'm gonna treat you like Hulk treated Loki.
Yeah, dude, I will
slam
wait
you from
out.
side to side to side.
So that's my paint the walls in blood. Make it quick.
My paint the walls in their blood is the lobster, the field mouse, the turtle, the squid, the iguana, the ferret, the octopus, the crab, Finding Nemo, the sheep, the kitty cat, the starfish, and whatever that little sparrow is. So is it an oriole?
Maybe it's an Oriole.
It looks like an oriole.
Yeah.
But if you are the size of my fist or smaller, or you weigh less than 22 pounds, I'm not worried about you.
All right, that's this week's Tears Day. We'll be back. Maybe we'll do one or two more of these as we get into the meat and potatoes of our sports season. We come back, Web Gems at a baseball stadium. What happens when you say you'll do something and it immediately happens next? 105.1 The Fan. Hour, ESPN slowly and surely becoming our super overlords once again. We'll get an update on the Rashee Rice situation, how that all is going to play out, plus a weird, crazy stat I found about Texas A&M quarterbacks as we ramp up for college football and NFL, plus closing arguments will wrap up the show. But I saw this, and Boog Shambi is one of my all-time favorite guys that does baseball. He used to be a big ESPN guy. Now he does Cubs games for a living. They were playing the Brewers last night, and I guess they wanted a double play so bad they were willing to wager something on that.
If he hits a ground ball to short to start the 6-4-3, yeah, that's strike. Will you buy Monsey sticks for everybody at the corner tavern?
Absolutely.
We don't know if they have mozzarella sticks in the corner tavern. The 1-1 outside. I'll go halvesies with you.
Okay.
Coming up, baby. Let's go.
Mozzarella sticks for everybody.
Yeah! Carter Tapro meet up.
Flip it and fire it.
Mozzie sticks.
So they offered to buy mozzarella sticks for everybody at the bar. If you're at the game, you're like, everybody shut up right now. I got to see if they hit this double play. And sure enough, they did. I mean, they're playing the Brewers. The Cubs are kind of hanging on. They're kind of...
Are they?
They are kind of hanging on. I mean, I think they'll make the playoffs, but the Cubs that I ranted and raved about in June are not my Cubs in August right now.
Yeah, I mean, well...
And the Brewers...
My division is not doing great outside of the Brewers and Cubs.
So. No. But I think if you're Boog Shambi and you're the Cubs, they're like... Dude, I'll split a $200 tab with you to help get this double play to get us out of this.
Yeah, 100%.
I found it on the Reddit feed. They showed it on the broadcast, so they proved to it. And they're pizza-style cheese sticks. So more like long breadsticks almost.
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
Give that to me right in the
Yeah, right. Injected in that. Dude, it must be great to be a Cub fan. I mean, in the sense of
This year.
No, I mean, I didn't even finish. You guys gave me the dirtiest looks
Well,
ever.
they went 100 years.
They won a World Series more recently than my team.
And the
Still,
Mariners.
more recently than your team. More recently than your team.
I still have some recent ones.
In fact, the only person in this building I think has got one of them cheating Stros.
Yeah, it's true because there's a dirtbag Giants fan, Braves fan.
Nope. Oh, Braves.
Oh yeah,
Braves.
Yeah.
No Nats fans in the building.
Yeah.
Oh, Swags Dodgers. Dang, that blew up my face right there.
We got a Mets and a Royals fan, so
Cleveland right here.
yeah. God, you and Suk.
We lost to the Cubs.
I say you and Suk could just not.
Suk lost the year before to the Royals.
That's what I'm saying. All of us have in the last 15 years. Everyone but you and Suk have one.
That was a fun World Series, the primetime World Series.
It was great.
That was a good time here at the station. But I meant to say that a Cubs fans in the sense of being around the stadium, like Wrigleyville all the time, that would be great. Talk about Arts District. You don't need Arts District, dude. You just need cramped alleyways with tons of alcohol. That's all you need, dude. Like in Cleveland, when I went to the World Series, right next to the Quicken Loans Arena, I don't know what they call it now, but
I think it's
is it still Quicken Loans?
Yeah.
Quicken Loans is right next to Progressive Field, Jacobs Field as we call it. And then there's this little
oh, no way.
restaurant
A
bar.
district?
Yeah, and it's like a cobblestone road and that you can't drive on.
Yeah.
And everybody walks on it.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Fantastic, huh?
It's really great.
Yeah, it's like if you go to any of them, like even the worst of them, you're like, this kind of rules.
There's like a couple James Beard nominated places on there, a couple breweries on there, some sushi, like a swag shop. Yeah, dude.
All kinds of stores.
It was
just
wonderful.
Just like, hey, you know what? Let's go check this out.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
It was even pouring rain for game 2, and it was still super busy.
Yeah. Turns
People
out
are sitting outside because there's no room inside.
Because when you put a bunch of dope stuff in one central place, people want to go to it.
I want to be at a bar when a broadcaster says, I will buy a round for everybody. Just so I could say, the great Boog Shambi bought me mozzarella sticks.
I did have that happen when I was in the Air Force. It was a college basketball NCAA tournament. A buddy of mine is a huge, he went to Kansas. He was an athlete at Kansas. And he was there when they were real good. real like the prime Bill Self days, right?
Okay.
And he did the he was a.
I mean, they won a natty not too long ago.
I know, but I'm talking like this was like peak Kansas, right? This is Kansas on the cover of ESPN magazine, Sports Illustrated, just dominance, right? He was an officer. He was a major lieutenant colonel at the time, so he had some money. And it was, I can't remember what game it was. I have to go back and double check what it was, but he literally looked up and he goes, "As God is my witness, I will buy the entire," it was a restaurant. You go, "I will buy the entire restaurant around if they win this game." And they did. And he dropped the card on the table and said, "Round for everybody." And I was like,
awesome.
Damn, that's a baller move.
I know. I wish I had that kind of money. I mean, I could do it. My wife would be very unhappy.
It would hurt.
My wife would be very unhappy.
It depends on where you do it at.
Yeah, if I did it at my local spot, which I'm gonna be guest bartending at again tonight, that it would be like $70.
You can get
maybe like 140.
You can get away with that.
I can get away with that.
There was a
honestly, that's what it costs for me and my wife to go out these days.
Yeah, I know. There was a professional team in this city that I did some stuff with
that will remain nameless. There's only one.
No. It's not that team. They're no longer here. But I worked with these guys, and one of them at the time was dating the owner of the team and had the owner's credit card.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
There may or may not have been a $20,000 tab rang up by the entire team one night after a game.
I can't live in that world. My father-in-law is very gracious and takes me out to dinner to some really nice places, and I know what those cost, and it makes me so uncomfortable.
I saw the tab and I went, "Oh, you're in trouble." And he's like, "She won't even notice."
That makes me really,
and I was just like,
wow. To have that kind of FU money.
Oh, dude. And again, she had money, but not in the sense of like world-changing, holy crap. Like I don't think people truly fathom what billions is.
Right.
Like what show was it?
Dude, I don't know if people really fathom what millions are.
No.
I mean, the gap between million and billion, yeah, we talk about that all the time.
Staggering.
It's very big. It's like as big as the gap as AAA to Major League Baseball.
Yeah, and like they had a bunch of guys on the red carpet. Like Johnny Manziel was one of them. They said, "Could you live your life on $10 million for the rest of your life?" He's like, 10
it's
million?
Like, dude, Coke's getting real expensive.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, the way I live." And I'm like, "Oh, God, why couldn't you go the way of Baker? You're just an enormous
you
douche."
Suck so bad.
One of the guys is like, "Are we talking 10 million pre-tax or?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? Like if you just invest it, you could live off the interest on that stuff. Like you could make like $250,000 a year on interest.
10 mil would be quite nice for me, that's for sure.
Oh my God.
All right, we come back. We got a loaded third hour to get to. We got some baseball, NFL, college football, and closing arguments. Hang out with us. Let's have some fun. One more hour to go. 105.1 The Fan.
I'm Chelsea.
George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Week 3, the preseason in the NFL getting going tonight. The Steelers hitting the road, taking on the Carolina Panthers. No Aaron Rodgers to be expected, but Pittsburgh still favored by 5.5. Kickoff at 4 p.m. on NFL Network. You got the New York Giants hosting the Patriots, also as a 5.5-point favorite. After that at 5 p.m., that can be watched on Amazon Prime Video. In college football, former head coach Pat Fitzgerald settling a $130 million wrongful termination lawsuit that he filed 2 years ago. He was fired amid allegations of widespread hazing in the program. And on to the PGA, the Tour Championship happening right now in Atlanta at East Lake Country Club. Justin Thomas moving into first place. He is through 9 at 6 under right now. Colin Morikawa in second at 5 under through 13. Nick Taylor, Sam Burns, and Ludwig Oberg, along with Tommy Fleetwood, all tied for third at 4 under. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schultze from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the firm of Harris and Marang. Weekdays 10 to 1. The Fan Sports Network. 105.1 FM and 1080 AM. The firm of Harris and Marang. Patrick Harris.
Look, Daniel, I do what I want.
Danny Marang.
That is smelling your own farts.
Easy there. These are great pipes.
I'm not going to say agree to disagree, but I really don't like you right now.
The firm of Harris and Marang on the Fan Sports Network. 105.1 and 1080. The Fan.
All right, one more hour to go here. If you missed any of the previous 2 hours, there are the Fan Podcasts to go back and check out. We chatted with Ryan Clark from the Oregonian about the Oregon State Beavers, their upcoming season. Stick with us for one more hour, then we'll send you to Ducks Insider. You know, I have a feeling on Ducks Insider one of these moments, you know, Dan Lanning's going to announce starting quarterback. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. Never know. Have to check that out with Joey Mack. Then there's the Fan Happy Hour at 2 o'clock with Luke Anderson from 2 to 3, and then primetime 3 to 7 to take you all the way home. It's Thursday, so you get a bonus hour of Andrew Nemec recruiting style with him. I'm sure he's got a lot to get to at this time of the year, so make sure you tune into that. Wrapping up Thursday's 14 hours of consecutive local regional programming. Booyah.
Boom.
Boo-yah. I feel like this is a theme, Danny, that we continue to talk about, and that is our warlords, our overlords that are ESPN, as they're continuing to do things. You remember what was it, maybe 4 months ago, 6 months ago, they started getting in like a spat with Major League Baseball. They were kind of like, you know, Sunday Night Baseball, we don't really like that thing. You know, baseball in general, we don't really like that thing. And they seem to like be really separating themselves. They got this weird, awkward standoff between the two. You know, and Manfred goes on ESPN the other day and he like very specifically calls out partnership with ESPN. Yeah. I thought that was kind of like a, hey, you guys want to keep doing baseball. I did not realize that was a, hey, thanks for bailing us out, guys. Because the rumors going around, the deal's close to being done. This is Kendall Baker. I'm not sure who that is, but this is the scoop they had. What they were hearing was Apple is fully out. Mm-hmm. That is RIP Friday Night Baseball. NBC Peacock is in for Friday and Sunday exclusive games.
Which means the end of Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN.
But it might be Sunday Night Baseball on NBC or Peacock, which won't be because of the NFL. Mm-hmm. And then the wild card as well on NBC Peacock.
So Andrew Marchand from The Athletic does have a lot of this. So ESPN would continue to broadcast around 30 regular season games, but not on Sunday night. ESPN would move to a different night during the week. The games on network would remain exclusive, meaning viewers would only be able to watch these matchups through ESPN, which, weird. What happened today? ESPN launched their new app.
ESPN is about to buy MLB TV. Mm-hmm. So if I have because I have the ESPN app, because I have YouTube, do I get all my MLB games for free now instead of paying $150 a year? Because like, isn't the hockey package like this too? That you can get the hockey package, but it's also on ESPN Plus. Am I remembering that correctly? Hockey Bro, chime in 503-864-6326. Either way, I'm curious what this does. Do I save $150 by this?
Well, it says ESPN's debuted its DTC product Thursday that costs $30 a month and does not require cable, satellite, or YouTube TV type subscription. The added features of its new app are available to most, but not all customers who subscribe traditionally. Here's the interesting thing about the MLB deal. Do you know who's very likely to get the home run derby?
Netflix.
And man, they do the live event thing really well.
They kind of do, man.
Look, I can't remember the numbers, but the Netflix live events, the Amazon Prime events, and the YouTube live events, they do it better than anybody. Did you watch? Like, I know it's not traditionally your vein, but did you watch the Kendrick Lamar pop up concert?
I did not.
Unreal.
Yeah.
The broadcast quality was like, there's a couple million people live watching it, and it was flawless.
All right.
And it was like, oh yeah, that's right. I guess when you have the technology and you have the infrastructure like YouTube, Amazon, and Netflix do, buddy.
Well, I think that's a big reason why Netflix got into WWE was to start to get all those kinks and chains out. Because look, if you screw up on a WWE broadcast, only the WWE fans are mad. Like remember the Paul Tyson fight? Like it was buffering and we were staring at butt cheeks for a little bit. Everybody was mad because everybody wanted to watch that. But once you kind of, bang out them issues
work out the kinks
in WWE, if Raw, I think it's Raw that's on Netflix.
That sounds
we
right.
did this the other day.
Yeah,
and I can't remember.
I think that's right.
Raw's on Netflix. Look, if something happens and Raw goes dark for 20 minutes on Netflix, you and I might see it, but we don't really care. We're not talking about it the next day. But if they go down on the Home Run Derby, we're going to be talking about it the next day.
Oops.
Yeah. So you get that. You use those to get those out of the way, and then you're good to go. I'd be interested to see what Netflix could do with the Home Run Derby, too. I mean, do they bring back this guy?
Give it to me.
I thought you rolled your eyes at me. I thought you were going to go the other route.
No. Give it to me, Boom.
Yeah.
Back.
Dude, it's great.
Oh, it's great.
If that guy's still alive.
Oh, he is. Come on now.
I feel like last couple times I saw him on TV, kind of talks like me meets Mike Lynch or Mike Leach. Sorry. Wow. What? I was texting Mike Lynch. It's on the brain.
I know.
Me and if you put my voice and Mike Leach's pat and cough together, that's Chris Berman.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's been kind of like talking Sunday Night Countdown.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I didn't see ESPN going full takeover. The NFL stuff makes sense.
Well, I mean, the NFL got 10% stake in ESPN.
The NFL stuff makes sense, and they can't get college because
it's live events, man. Look, I mean, we do this for a living, but like the stuff that I do around this, like the post-game show, like the live events and shoulder programming for live events, that's where the money's at.
I don't care what channel my game is on. I'm gonna watch it.
Well, as long as it's on something that's
accessible
and
everything's accessible.
The home run stroker.
That was
misfire?
a misfire. Sorry about that.
But I've been.
I will go find it. I will sail the high seas if I gotta find it.
I've been talking to a lot of people in the media space, like on the national level, just kind of get an idea of because it pertains to us and our future and radio and TV and podcasting and live streaming and all these different things. And the general consensus among those that are in decision-making, powers is that eventually the streamers are going to own sports.
Like right. We're almost there. I mean, look at. I mean, the MLS Apple TV deal is a great example. That's exclusivity.
Yeah.
I think there are games on like FS1 every once in a while, but every game is on Apple TV.
Yeah, but also who owns FS1 now? ESPN.
They don't own them.
Oh, yeah, they did. They bought out Fox. Fox Sports is a part of the ESPN package.
I thought that was a joint deal to share.
Fox Sports is on ESPN.
What?
On the new app.
What?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Fox Sports.
This is what they're doing instead of that like WB joining together and ESPN airing all that. Essentially, this is what ESPN ended up getting, which is most of sports on their app, or at least being able to view them through their app.
Yeah.
That sounds like a conflict of
Well,
interest.
I mean, look, if you want to look at locally, Nexstar is buying Tegna.
Does the Associated Press fold and the ESPN takes over the Associated Press?
I mean, no kidding. Not that
For
far
sports?
out of the realm of
For
possibilities.
sports? I think El Presidente would let him do it.
But look, as I've had a lot of people ask me, are Blazers games going to be carried on YouTube TV via K2 Sinclair? And I don't think so. And there was a
I
discussion.
thought we were supposed to get that extra channel.
Look, the extra channel is already there. YouTube TV accidentally carried, I think, 2 games last year because of a changeover at the beginning of the year when Univision went away and the full changeover to the .2 happened at K2. And I don't think I'm speaking out of turn here when I say I don't think it's going to happen. And it's not, I don't think it has anything to do with K2 Sinclair or the Trailblazers. I think it has, and this isn't like dismissing blame or anything like along those lines. From what I've been told, the likes of YouTube TV, Google, Amazon, Netflix, they don't want piecemeal. They don't want a couple teams here or there. They want entire leagues.
Yeah.
And they're not going to do anything until and then Google may end up getting the rights to all of the NBA and control all of the local broadcasts. So you if you've got YouTube TV, you can click in and watch whatever you want to watch as kind of a league pass, but it's a full tie-in as opposed to, Phoenix, Utah, Dallas, New Orleans, Portland, I think are the teams right now that are currently going the OTA, the over-the-air broadcast local. Like, do they want those 5 teams or do they want the entire league?
Right, like when Bally folded and the MLB just took over for a lot of the Bally stuff.
And
they do that in the NBA
yeah,
too.
and Washington, Monument Sports.
Yeah,
they bought their Bally entity and brought it in-house, and they have Monument Sports TV that covers the Capitals, the Wizards, the Go-Go, and with I'm forgetting one other team that they own. I can't remember. But like they do it all in-house, and it's just, as somebody who works in this space, this stuff interests me because it impacts us and like how things are gonna
100%.
go. And it's the Nexstar Tegna thing. It's what $6.2 billion. Like the reason that gets interesting when you talk about like the world of sports is like their public reasoning for that purchase. For those that don't know, Tegna is KGW, Nexstar is Coin locally. This merger in the past couldn't happen because you could only any singular broadcaster could only own 39% of a given market space. But with where things are now, they don't have the finances to be able to continue to do those things and turn the profits you need to turn because they're publicly traded companies. So their push is, hey, we need to compete with the tech companies, i.e., Google, Amazon, Netflix, those companies. And is the pushback, instead of one of the tech companies getting a hold of the rights, does one of the big local broadcasters end up buying the rights because they would have entities in all those major markets? So it's an interesting contrast. Like, we kind of have an idea of where these things are going, like with what ESPN is doing and getting Major League Baseball and getting the NFL and doing these things. But also you're seeing the other big companies and streamers and the more traditional market or the traditional avenues also trying to make sure that they don't go the way of the dinosaur.
See, this is the Skynet that I always thought was coming around. Like not the like weapons turning against a nuclear dystopia, but like
it's the weaponizing of the media.
Yeah. This is the Skynet that I saw coming. All right, we come back. Let's cruise over to the NFL. The Rashee Rice situation continues to hang over. How does this play out? Where does this go? A little NFL chatter as we finish out our day. Hang out with us. 105.1 The Fan.
The Fan firm of Harris and Marang on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
We'll get into a college football program that I will maybe never understand. They could win a national championship, and I don't know if I'll ever understand that. So we'll get to that next. Always a reminder, Football Talk on the Fan is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. They also got college football. Watch your local NFL live every Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. There's a fight at joint practice. Is there anything dumber than fights in the NFL practice? Or just fights in the NFL?
No.
You got helmets on.
Nothing dumb about it. It happens.
There's a ton of stuff dumb about it. You got helmets on.
Yeah, I'm on Patrick's side of this
Yeah,
one.
what are you going to do? You going to break my fist on your helmet?
I mean, Brian Cushing broke his face on a helmet.
Brian Cushing was allegedly on steroids.
Not allegedly. Tested positive.
I'm just being safe. I don't want to get sued.
Yeah, look, I'm sure Brian Cushing's the only one. Come on.
Shocking. He was the Bill Romanowski of that time, right?
Well, yeah, you have a bunch of dudes that have been waiting to beat the hell out of somebody else and been beating the hell on out of their teammates for the last couple of weeks. What did you expect?
I don't know, man. It's like throwing a punch at a bear. I just think it's a bad idea.
At what point is it actually criminal, and at what point is it I'm not trying to be a rare or a wussy here, but there's fighting, and then there's like scuffling amongst teammates or another team in this case. At what point, if you're throwing a punch off the football field, that's assault, brother. What are we doing here?
Look, I mean, I come from a very different world in the military.
Happy Gilmore once took off his skate and tried to stab somebody.
Yes, he did.
I am a subscriber to the violence solves a lot of problems. Well documented. I don't care. Especially
Dude, that's your phrase of the week, man.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care if somebody gets knocked out. Problem solved.
Yeah, I don't really like to see it.
What? Geno Smith? Anybody? No, problem not solved.
No, it solved the problem.
Well, in a way,
yeah,
but it also ruined a guy's life for 5 years.
He's looking at it as black and white. Yes, the problem is solved. Yes, 30,000 people died, but yes, the problem's solved. That's how Danny looks at it.
You're not wrong.
I know. I know I'm not wrong.
There's certainly minutia to go into when you're talking about the global scale, but
easy, Rod.
Look, no, I was just saying with Geno, do you think he learned from it?
I think Iz learned more from it than anything, but it still wasn't okay. That's I guess where I come into play. It's that shouldn't happen.
Talk bleep, get hit.
Coming back into the
look, I mean, it is what it is. I know you're trying to save this. I don't.
So close.
No, I'm not going to let you. Look, man. In those worlds, look. Do I think Draymond slumping Jordan Poole was a dirty shot?
Yeah.
But
sure.
Also,
dude, it ended Jordan Poole's career.
Well, and at least the Golden State.
Dude, where's Jordan Poole now?
New Orleans.
Have fun, buddy.
Yeah. Steve Kerr got knocked out by Michael Jordan.
Yeah, but that helped them win. That helped them win titles.
I mean, Warriors.
I also saw something. Kobe hit somebody and then felt so bad about it that he called him crying and apologized. And
look, I mean, again, when problems need to get solved, sometimes getting hit is the course of action that solves that problem.
I hope that I'm never in a situation that I have to get hit to solve an issue.
I hope you are, just once.
You really want... I shouldn't do this. I'm walking right into it.
No, I don't want... I don't
into
necessarily even want you to be the one that gets hit. I think
you want me to hit?
I almost want it for you to be the other way around.
You want me to hit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Because then you're going to do it, and then you're going to look down at what your fist, and then you're going to look up, and that guy's going to be still standing there, and you're going to go, oh, crap.
That's exactly why it's not going to happen. Rashee Rice, the wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs. This situation's weird that it hasn't been kind of figured out yet. He pleaded guilty to 2 felonies in July. Racing on a freeway caused a giant accident on video, caused a bunch of injuries. And it looks like the NFL's trying to throw the book at him. But he's also attempting to negotiate with the league. Apparently there's no precedent for this situation in the NFL. When does a situation in the NFL become precedent? Because I feel like it's well, this guy hit his wife. This guy hit his girlfriend, but that's not his wife. So that's a different precedent. I think just being arrested and convicted of felonies should be kind of where the litmus test is here. I find it strange that he's trying to negotiate with the league. Why would the league let him negotiate with that? You know? Like, if you're going to get 8 games, get 8 games. Why would the league let him spill his case and try to talk about it and get it down to 6? That feels very strange to me. It seems like the league wants to throw the book at him for half a season, but he's like trying to compare this to other people's situations who only got 1 game. I don't know, but I think it's a weird situation for the Chiefs too. They're looking for a slam dunk number 1 wide receiver. You know, does this open the door for Xavier Worthy to come through and be the number 1 receiver? I'm not sure. But the effect of losing a guy for potentially 6 to 8 games could be pretty wild in the NFL, especially for the Chiefs, who are looking for that offense to keep going and keep becoming something that we kind of haven't seen the last few years. It's been pretty defense dependent. But this hearing is pushed till week 4. So the aspect of potentially losing a guy for 8 games, but it not coming around for week 4 could be something really, really nasty. Anyway, just something I was thinking about that I'm trying to wrap my brain around to get to see how the NFL will eventually take care of this. Hey, when we come back, let's jump into college football. There's a program out there. I saw this crazy stat about their quarterbacks and how they're on different teams, and when will I get to a point that I can actually take this program seriously? We'll do that next, but first, there's Schultze with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Reynolds Defense Firm. If you've been arrested for DUI, you need a team of attorneys you can put your trust into. Call Reynolds Defense Firm today online at reynoldsdefensefirm.com. First on The Fan, the final week of the NFL preseason. Starting up tonight, you got the Carolina Panthers hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Aaron Rodgers-less Pittsburgh Steelers, of course. Not surprising since it's the final preseason matchup, but the Steelers still favored by 5.5. Kickoff at 4 p.m. on NFL Network. Following that, you got the Patriots traveling to New York to host the to play in New York against the Giants. Giants are a 5.5-point favorite at home there as well. 5 p.m. kick. That one is on Amazon Prime Video. In college football, former head coach Pat Fitzgerald settling a $130 million termination lawsuit he filed 2 years ago. He was fired amid allegations of widespread hazing in the program. And a lot of movement on the leaderboard at the Tour Championship out in Atlanta. A busy one at East Lake Country Club today. Justin Thomas sitting alone now in first place. He is at 6 under through 11. Colin Morikawa sitting at 5 under through 15. Akshay Bhatia, he is at 4 under off the course there. Along with Akshay, you got Patrick Cantlay and Sam Burns, as well as Tommy Fleetwood and Russell Henley sitting at 4 under as well. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schultze from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The Fan is live on YouTube and Twitch. And now Window Nation brings you on-demand videos. Watch Window Nation's Window into the Fan.
You worked hard for your 401k, but if you've left your job, your money might be sitting in the wrong hands. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and it's very possible that the 401k that you have had for years has hidden fees and limited investment
The Firm of Harris and Marang on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Jane Jones.
All right, we'll have closing arguments coming up next here in a moment. And we'll send you on your merry, merry way. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today.
Yeah, especially if you're watching on YouTube and you watch me have what looked like a freaking stroke.
Yeah, I was wondering what was going on over there.
I checked out of that segment because I had the worst case of tinnitus I've ever had in my entire life. All of a sudden, it was just in my ear, and I just went completely short-circuited.
I'm going to start coming up with made-up words so I can half-ass segments like you.
Oh, dude, that was... I had no idea it was... I had a little bit of it before we had the show, or right before the show.
I know, I'd forgot you had mentioned that.
And I was like...
So I was like... I thought you got mad at me for being woke or something.
No, I was just literally just short-circuiting. It was just
like I didn't know Danny turned into a little butterfly.
Yeah, there's never anything on this show that I will just I'm not talking about this. No. But yeah, no, turns out, the old joke in the military is it's not service related. The fact that you've discharged your weapon hundreds of thousands of times, and it's in my left ear, which is the ear that faces the barrel. But it's one of those dumb things that if you've never had tinnitus, I didn't get it until a couple years ago. The one I just had, you can watch it on YouTube. That was egregious. And I've got buddies that have it all the time. I'm like, how do you function?
You know what I learned from that? I learned that there's a reason why I don't talk about people like Rashee Rice. Because then when I realized I was all by myself, I was like, man, I really don't care about people that commit felonies. I just really don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I don't. I'm one of those firm believers that sports is a privilege, not a right.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you can't follow the same rules I follow, then I don't know, man, maybe you shouldn't get to play sports.
Oh no, if
you can get fired for felonies, which, depending on them, you probably deserve to, then that should translate.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Urban Meyer feels the same way. We'll chat about that tomorrow. I wonder what that's about. So we'll get to that tomorrow as well. Some other things on the show tomorrow to look forward to is, it's just college football's back. College football's back, so that'll be exciting. We'll preview Washington State. Alex Brink will come on and chat with us about that. The uncomfortable word of the week, which I forgot to get suggestions in for today, but we'll have that tomorrow, along with some other fun stuff to send you on your weekend on a Football Friday. But I came across this, and I thought it was really weird. Do you have any quote-unquote prominent college football programs that don't make sense to you why they're prominent?
No, I think everything has a reason one way or the other.
Someone's there for however reason.
Yeah.
Because I've got one, and I'm really confused by it. It could be ignorance on my end. They do have a Heisman Trophy winner in my lifetime that I've
feel like
seen.
We need to go Family Feud on there. Do we have ignorance on the board? Ding! Ding. First answer. Top answer. Number one, ignorance.
And that for me is Texas A&M. I came across this. They have 1, 2, 3, 4. They have 6 different people that have played quarterback for them over the last 5 years that are now playing for other teams. Zach Calzana, he's Jimbo's first QB recruit. Saw some playing time in 2019, none in 2020, became the starter in 21, and then got hurt and transferred. Haynes King, his second limited playing time to Kellen Mond in 22, injured, transferred.
Georgia Tech, baby.
He's at Georgia Tech.
Ram the wreck.
Connor Weigman?
He's God, where's he at now?
He is at the University of Houston where he's expected to start.
Yeah, I think he just got named starter yesterday or the day before.
Jalen Henderson was a transfer from Fresno. He'd get the starting against Mississippi State due to injuries. And he gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some other guys. So it led me to this question with Texas A&M, does it make them look good or bad at recruiting? They got starting quarterbacks everywhere, but none of them do it for Texas A&M. I mean, Kellen Mond was good for them. I liked him. But why can't and Jimbo's kind of a disaster. I don't know if it's the Jimbo thing.
Yeah, well, not only that,
this whole program just confuses the ever living bejesus out of me.
Well, I mean, they have their place in college football because they were super early national champions. It was like the 20s.
Cool.
But they also have Heisman winners.
They've got Johnny Manziel, and when was the last one?
Oh, it's been a while.
Not my lifetime.
God, I used to know.
If you won a Heisman Trophy before 1990, I have no idea who you are. Well, that's not true. But, like, I know the big names, and that's about it. Your name has to be like Barry Sanders for me to know.
John David Crow in 57. They have two Heisman
57?
winners.
My dad was born in
3.
57.
Yeah.
My dad was born in 57.
But here's the thing. Again, no matter the fact that it was 100 years ago, going back 100 years, how many schools do you think have multiple Heisman winners and 3 national championships?
I will go with Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I will go with.
So you got Florida, USC, Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan.
I was going to go with those
Notre
guys.
Dame. Okay.
Who's the Heisman? Tim Brown.
Notre Dame.
Yeah. That's it though.
No, they have another. They actually have a. Why not?
So I guess I'm looking at this. I think what you're trying to say is that I'm looking at 6 schools that have only done this one thing.
Yep. So you've got Tim Brown, and then you got a bunch in the 40s and 50s.
So I'm looking at this as something that only 6 teams have accomplished.
I mean,
but I think more teams should have.
Yeah.
It's like when you look back at the last 20 years, and it's like 5 teams have won a natty.
Yeah. There's not that many. So again, A&M's a cult. A&M's insane. It's all of these things. They've gone through the Jimbo era, and they've gone through the pay for play era, and all this pomp and circumstance of like they're this, they're going to be this. This is the year they're back. Blah 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 blah.
I guess all those other schools that you speak of, though, I've seen that. I've seen Florida be good. I've seen Michigan win titles.
We saw A&M be pretty damn good
for 1 year.
Again, but the Johnny Manziel, Mike Evans stuff was pretty damn good
for like 10 minutes though. Like I've seen Michigan win multiple natties in my life. I've seen Ohio State win 3 natties under 3 different coaches in my lifetime. I've seen Florida, 2 natties and a Heisman Trophy for a 4-year guy.
But again, if you go over the last 100 years,
they're not all there. But then A&M needs to figure it out. Otherwise,
yes, 100%.
Otherwise, they're lose. They've already lost this standard for me. I was surprised that you were like. I mean, you're bringing a lot of rationale to the conversation, which I appreciate. But to me, I was kind of like, how are we sticking up for this?
It's the what have you done for me lately of it, and the lately goes back a long.
That's
ways.
right. My lately is 40 years.
No, I'm with you. I'm 100% with you. But you start talking. If I just in the break, I'll do this. I'll go through and find at schools that have won at least 3 natties and had 2 Heismans. I bet you that list is less than 10.
I'll bet you that list is less than 10 too. Of all time?
Of all time.
Of all time?
Because here's the thing. You're going to have like the Army's probably going to sneak their way in there.
Yeah, you'll have the old school guys, the Armies, the Harvards.
You know what I mean? Like, but other than that.
But like, when does Ohio State come around? How many Heisman trophies does Ohio State have?
I'm
trying to think off the top of my head. Jeremiah Smith.
Well, he will. God, that is.
You know what I mean? Like even a program like that, off the top of my head. I mean, Michigan has 2 in my lifetime, and Dez and Woodson.
So Troy Smith was the first one I could think of. Okay, Eddie George.
Eddie George.
And then
okay,
Archie.
I was wondering if Eddie George did it.
So
Archie.
But the other ones were
Archie has 2. Archie has 2. Right?
Vic Janovitz, Howard Cassidy, and Les Horvath, and those are from 44 to 55.
Yeah, that's old.
But again, they do have more recent ones in Eddie and Troy. But again,
I think the clock should start on A&M.
Oh, 100%. But
I think it should.
If you're saying like quote unquote blue blood, they do historically. They do. I know it's gross, but they do historically have the resume. But in the what have you done for me lately? In basically our lifetime, it's 1 year.
It's 1 year. Remember when Kevin Sumlin was the bee's knees?
Oh yeah, dude. Oof. There was a time when USC's coaching was an issue. Was the Clay Helton period, and I was talking myself into Kevin Sumlin.
Dude, for all the garb that people want to throw at Oregon for not winning Natty, their program is 1,000 times more relevant to me than A&M, and it's not even because I live here.
Oh no, you're not wrong.
Without a doubt.
The relevancy part of it, but again, you're talking about the historical markers.
Yeah.
Like
UW has done more for me than A&M.
God, how much does that hurt you to say?
It hurts a lot, brother.
Yeah,
it hurts a lot. It hurts a lot. All right, when we come back, closing arguments, we'll send you on your way. That's Danny Marang. I'm Patrick Harris, 105.1 The Fan.
It's time for Easy Play, brought to you by Home Z, making home improvement easy.
And a high fly ball to right field.
Going back is Raley at the wall. He jumps, and it is gone. 2-run home run for Schwarber.
That's Cheeseburger himself with his 45th bomb of the year. God, I want him to win the National League MVP so bad. So bad. He'll probably give it to Shohei, but I really want him to win it. You know who could use some home Z? Seattle Mariners could use some home Z. They'll be home tomorrow. That'll help them out. This easy play brought to you by HomeZ. Use HomeZ's online calculator to estimate your project instantly. Make it easy. Call HomeZ. That's HOMZE. HomeZ.com.
We just finished our roof and siding with HomeZ. I got a clear itemized estimate from their team. Their certified installers are real pros. It was exactly how home improvement should be.
For a stronger, better-looking home, visit HomeZ.com. Make it easy. Call HomeZ. CCB number 239804.
He's back. Damian Lillard is returning to Rip City.
Batum throws to Lillard. A 3 for the game.
A long road to recovery from injury still looms.
Is Drew Holiday still around? What sort of progress has Klingon made? What happens with Scoot? It's such a weird thing.
But hope is renewed. Keep it on the Fan all off season long for the latest on the Portland. The closing arguments.
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers.
I want the truth.
On the Fan Sports Network.
You can't handle the truth.
105.1 and 1080. The Fan.
503-864-6326. That's the Fan text line. I'll read some of these here. Jimbo wasn't great at A&M, but people paint it as a disaster. He was 45-25, had a winning record in the SEC, definitely fell short of expectations, but certainly not the dumpster fire people lazily proclaim. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. I'm willing to admit that. I just think coming off of a Heisman Trophy and Jameis and a national title, walking in there getting spats with Nick Saban and acting like A&M was coming to the big block, when you talk that walk is not. So I agree that yes, that is a great point to that texter's point. I think they're right. It's not a disaster. I think it looks bad.
No,
aesthetically, it's a disaster.
When you talk about your recruiting class, like we had Bartu on yesterday, and he talked about the USC collection of talent from 2000 2010. There's nobody comes close. You can sit here and yell at me, USC guy, blah blah blah. I don't care. The numbers are just there. The math is there. The talent collection they had was absurd. That's why they were what they were.
2 Heismans in that 10 year.
Yeah, they were,
and some finalists.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
Mark Sanchez, a finalist.
Remind me again, what school is it in the country that has the most Heisman trophies?
Oh God, the answer is USC.
There's
a bunch at 7, dude. If Notre Dame gets a Heisman Trophy this year, if Jeremiah Smith gets a Heisman Trophy, look out, sir.
There we go. Anyways, but he even said like he underperformed, and that was winning titles.
Mm-hmm.
Jimbo had supposedly all this talent.
Shared titles.
No. We had Bartu to dispel that. They were the best team in the country, hands down. The expectation. It was a disaster to the expectation.
Mm-hmm.
This would be like if who is the best coach in college football right now? George Kirby, Georgia with Kirby. If Kirby goes to Alabama and replaces DeBoer and went 9-3. The expectation is you are the best coach in college football with all the power and all the resources and all the talent in the world. You are expected to go out there and do it. And Jimbo's coming off of that run, and the talent accumulation at A&M was robust.
And I don't think a lot of people really give Jimbo the full credit at Florida State either.
And that may be the part of it.
Yeah.
And again,
I think there's a lot of that too.
I also think Jimbo.
I mean, Bowden's long gone, but I think a lot of people kind of didn't really view Jimbo as. It's like you got Jameson, and that did it for you.
I think Jimbo checked out when he got that check at A&M.
I think so.
And
too.
I don't think he was a bad coach. I think he just. I did the quick math. I got to 7 schools. If you take out Army, Harvard, Yale.
Yeah, to Deal's point on the text line, if your national title happened before Israel became a country, you might need to look in the mirror. Israel became a recognized nation in 1948.
Yeah.
That's a fair litmus test for me. 1948 is the last time the Cleveland Indians won a World Series. Jackie Robinson debuted in 47. I'm perfectly fine with 47 being the year of the litmus test.
But when
also the big war and all that stuff.
Yeah, when you're talking about schools that have like the requisite number of just Heismans, right? I mean, you're to this like LSU has 3.
And
Nebraska,
2 of those are recently.
Yeah, in Burrow and Daniels.
Both those guys are in the NFL and young.
Yeah. Nebraska has 3 and the multiple titles. Michigan has 3 and multiple titles. Florida State has 3 and multiple titles. Florida has 3 and multiple titles. Army also on here technically would qualify, but we're not putting Army, Harvard, or Yale on here. Auburn has 3 and multiple titles. Bama 4 and multiple titles.
Multiple Heismans in my lifetime too. Yes. What am I thinking of? I'm thinking of Devonta, Ingram, and
we're missing one. Who are we missing?
It's not a quarterback.
God dang it. Now this irritates the hell out of me.
Devonta, Ingram.
Bryce
Young.
Yeah.
It is a quarterback.
Yeah. And Derrick Henry.
Poor Bryce Young. It is Bryce Young.
Yeah, it's Derrick Henry.
Guy.
So,
poor guy.
But then you've got the big Heisman hitters, which are Notre Dame at 7, Oklahoma at 7, Ohio State at 7, and then
Fight on at 8. I think I can name all 8.
Think so? I bet you won't get one of them.
Okay, I bet you I won't. I bet you I can name 7 of them.
Okay, go.
Marcus Allen, O.J. Simpson, Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart. That's all I got. What is that, 4?
Yeah, you're missing the one that was 3 years ago.
Oh, Caleb.
There you go. And then the quarterback before Leinart.
Carson Palmer.
Ding, 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 ding. Charles White was the one I knew you missed. And then Mike Garrett.
Mike Garrett.
Yeah. Running back you, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what it was for a time. Yeah, I don't know. I maybe it's not fair.
But again, like I said, there's 7 teams.
There's only 7,
including A&M, which again the titles are old.
But to get back to my Oregon reference, to use Oregon as a local thing, Oregon has been way more relevant since 2000 than Texas A&M has.
Absolutely.
And that's 1 Heisman Trophy, 1 national champion, or 2 national championship appearances, both not very good losses. I mean, one is 13-10 is that the Cam Newton year? Like that was a really awful game in general. So, like, there's not a lot to scratch at for that, but that's way more relevant than this.
It's not denigrating Oregon. It's just
Remember, Clemson were known as losers for a long time, and that is 35,000 times of a program.
He's got 2.
Yeah. I mean, when you were saying Kirby Smart leaves Georgia, and I thought you were going to say.
I was going to say Clemson.
I thought you were going to say.
I was going to say
you were going to
Clemson.
say who is the best coach in college football. It's going to be like, oh God, it's going to be Dabo.
Run from it.
I heard.
Dread it.
I heard.
It comes for you all the same.
I heard Dirt and Sprague talk about this the other day. Like, what would winning a Natty do for a coach the most?
Dabo.
And I think they settled on James Franklin. I think Franklin has had a very tumultuous time.
Dabo
it would do worlds
reign.
for Lanning.
Oh, dude.
I think obviously Ryan Day winning another would do a lot for him. I swear, if Dabo
got a
Swinney
third?
had 3 national championships, I would lose my brain.
Dude, like
it would hurt so bad.
He's unassailable.
I know.
There's a legitimate chance
he can win one this year.
If Clemson won a title this year,
what if Klubnik wins a Heisman and they win a Natty?
Neither of those things are like crazy
Everybody
possibilities.
would hate life so bad.
You have arguably the best returning quarterback in the country. You have the best pass rush in the country on paper, hands down.
Your preseason top 10.
Like,
you're in the ACC, which could fall apart at any second.
There is a world very much that exists where Clemson is playing in a national championship.
Maybe that's the heel route I'll take in college football. Maybe I'll root for
because
Clemson.
if he wins 3,
Dabo
you can't say a bleeping thing to the guy.
He would be insufferable. See, told you, transfer portal's not good.
But
NIL's not good.
But you know what? You know what you can do? Nothing, because he's got 3 of them things.
I know. Oh my God.
At that point in time, you just have to sit there and go, I got nothing. You know what I mean? Because you get 3, brother, that list gets real short.
If Clemson wins a Natty, I'll buy a 59.50.
Clemson
do wear a hat.
Oh, dude.
Like the one I'm wearing right
Look,
now.
I'm not going to lie, though. That orange paw, it's
I know, but it's got purple.
Oh, that's right. You're anti-purple. Yeah, I get it. But you can get just the orange and white one.
Yeah, I'll do orange and white.
Yeah,
I do love orange. Orange is my favorite color.
They got a tiger that they bring out on the field.
Dude, that stadium is rocking.
Oh, dude,
that stadium is rocking.
If you're talking about bucket list college football stadiums, Clemson is 100%.
That's why I want semifinals at home.
Oh God, yes.
I want that game at Clemson.
Yeah.
I want that game in the Bayou.
I
want that game in Tuscaloosa at the Horseshoe.
Is this a safe space?
Sometimes.
I'm a closet Dabo fan.
Oh God, you would be. He represents everything you would. You would be.
But no, it's the teams that he has.
Well, the teams he has have been very likable.
They're just like they play again.
Hey, look, Deshaun Watson,
terrible human.
I knew we were going to go there.
My God, he was so much fun to watch.
He was a lot of fun.
Him and Sammy Watkins. Are you kidding me?
And Trevor Lawrence looked like the second coming
Football
of John Elway.
Jesus?
Yeah.
I mean, good God, dude.
Yeah, Dabo.
Look, man, he has some bangers.
Moral of the story: Texas A&M sucks. I think that's what we learned today on the program, kids. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Alex Brink will join us. We'll preview Wazoo football. I'm excited to get into that. And we'll get us ready going into week 0 as football has finally become. We'll be ready for that.
0 week.
0 week. Week 0. Who knows? Ducks Insider is next, then the Fan Happy Hour with Luke Anderson. For Danny Marang, that's Schultze on the 1s and 2s. I'm Patrick Harris. Go do something I would do.
Bye.